Mariam, I see you. Young Kisan, good evening.
Inside. Bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow.
Hello, good
The
evening.
promise, the future and life. Love is light that's within me. Shine to the whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside. Yeah.
We are good.
Inside.
Happy Thursday, everyone.
Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future and life. Love is light that's within me. Shine to the whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside.
Sunny Boy 64, I see you. Good evening. Modupe, I see you. Annie, I see you. Good evening. Ezekiel, how are you? Happy Thursday.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Please help share this live as you join in today. Beatrice, I see you. I hope you are good as well. Audio, I see you. Attent, I see you. Eric, good evening. Anita Dove, I see you. Eric, I hope you are good. Meret, I see you. Prinda, I see you. User 59, Dimash. Welcome in, everyone. Please help share this live as you join in TFL. I hope you are good. Rosit, I see you. Good evening to you. I'm seeing a known face there. User 73, I see you. Proline, I hope you're good.
The promise, the future and life.
Tara Mara, I see you. Good evening. Severin, I think. I see you. Good evening. Abayomi, I see you. Nana Osei, I see you. Marima, good evening to you. Dimash, welcome back. Tinubu, I see you. Omolola, good evening to you. I hope you are good. Happy Thursday. Dilis, welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal. Today, the day the Lord has made. Indeed, I am rejoicing in it, and I'm also glad in it. Ram, I see you. Susan, Vera, good evening. I hope you guys are good. Is the last insight here, I think so. Is the last insight in this month of August 2025. Yabo, I see you. Keith, I see you. I hope we are good. I hope the month of August has treated us well. We still have about 3 more days to go. Let's still be hopeful. Fingers crossed. I see you. Thank you so much for joining. I hope we are feeling good. Like I said, I hope the month of August have treated us well. Otherwise, well, September is just around the corner. We have to keep hope alive. Maybe the things we're trusting God for that we didn't get in the month of August, perhaps September might just be our month. User Nikki, I see you. Christina, I see you. Becky, good evening to you. Tori, welcome into Insight today. So, guys, as you join in, please feel free to follow me and I will find you and follow you right back. Pablo, I see you. I hope we are having a wonderful, wonderful Thursday. And I hope we're looking forward to the weekend as well. I think this weekend is kind of packed. Gift, I see you. Osazua. An interesting name. Betty, God's love, you are welcome. Today on Insight on Thursdays, we talk about marriage talks, different topics that tend to bring issues in marriage. We sit here and dare ourselves to talk about these things so that we can do better. As I always say, we do better by ourselves, by our spouses, God helping all of us. And we keep enjoying the goodness of marriage. Marriage is one institution that you get a certificate and they send you into the institution. For all other institution, you get to sit for the exam. If you don't pass, you don't get your certificate. But for whatever reason, you get your certificate before you go into the marriage institution. I wonder why. We keep, doing the test, learning. And I think somebody out there must have thought that, look, I know you can do better. I give you this certificate knowing that you will do good by your spouse. So they've endorsed you already and then off you go into that institution. And some people 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 17 years down the line, they're like, man, this test is hard. It's like you cannot graduate from this institution. I mean, that's how it's been designed. So you would think twice about it before you enter into that institution. Otherwise, we're going to affect the next generation. You know that the ways our own predecessors, our forefathers, lived in marriage. They've passed things down from one generation to another. And here we are, our generation, we're here again, trying to balance things in our marriages. But you and I know that out there's a whole lot of divorce here and there, separation here and there. What are the causes? Why do couples find themselves separating, divorcing? Were there issues they couldn't figure out, they couldn't iron out, they couldn't compromise? Were they not understanding enough? Were they not prioritizing enough? Who knows? So our topic today is prioritizing in marriage. When you're a single individual, you prioritize whatever you feel necessary to. But when you're in a marriage relationship, it becomes two people trying to prioritize in a single way. So imagine there's a conflict. One party is seeing things in this way, the other party is seeing things in that way. So at some point you have to sit down and talk about things and prioritize what is in the best interest of your marriage, of your relationship right there. And then you might not be fully happy, but you have to reach a compromise. Grace, I see you, A13. Good evening, you are welcome. I hope you guys are doing well. Good to see you again. Thank you so much for sharing the live already. Agatha, I see you. Thanks for joining in. So we're going to be looking at this topic today, prioritizing in marriage. There's so many aspects to it, but I'll give my talk so that you understand where I'm coming from and then kind of reflect about it. Because when I open the boxes to all of us to come talk some more about it, that is when we can rub minds together. If couples don't learn to prioritize as a unit, are there consequences? Does it have effect on them or on their children or on that institution as a whole? So all of this we're going to be looking at today, because sometimes couples here, they may find it challenging to sit and prioritize in their marriage. Maybe they're not on the same page regarding what it is they need to prioritize. One might feel, no, we need to prioritize this, and the spouse might feel, no, we need to prioritize this, and this can bring about some sort of conflict, and if care is not taken, could actually set them apart. But that is not God's intention. So let us sit together tonight on Insight. Let us talk some more about this so that we don't face those kind of conflicts. We look for ways to sitting down, compromising, and prioritizing. Lakeside, I see you. Good evening. I hope you're good. I hope you're good. Looking forward to the weekend. Zania or Zaina, I think it's Zaina. I see you. Indira, you are welcome. Please, thank you for the follow. I will find you and follow you back. Thank you. Yeah, I see you just followed me. Thank you so much for that. So let's go into this. And as I give my talk, you can kind of reflect one or two things I may not say. You might have to be the one to share that with us. Khalif, I am good, thank you. Happy Thursday to you. I hope you are good yourself. Thanks for joining in on Insight with FunmiRoyal today. So I'm gonna go into this talk, and like I say, you can take notes, or take notes perhaps, or you can write down some things you might feel, oh, I need to share this, because like I say, I can never cover all aspects of it, but I'll still give the talk so that we have some perspective to it. So again, we're talking about marriage topics today. Marriage is prioritizing in marriage. So marriage is one of the most beautiful. So yeah, I'm good to let me take my seat, please. If you need a cup of tea or your orange juice or something, or your biscuit, your snacks, your popcorn, whatever, a nibble, something, so that you can relax. I'm gonna talk for maybe about 40 minutes or thereabout, or less, I don't know, depending on the examples I'm going to be bringing, because sometimes they just come. I don't put that in my notes, so we'll see how far we go. So thank you so much, Khalif, for joining in, and I hope this talk be a blessing to you. Whether you're married or not, we're here to always learn so that we can do better when the time comes, or as we're in that marriage institution. So like I said, marriage is a beautiful, beautiful yet demanding relationship in life. It's a union of two unique individuals, a man and a woman, like I always say, a man and a woman, a husband and a wife, who must learn to work together in love, in purpose and understanding, because that's the only way they can progress and move forward in their marriage. These things are challenged by the ways, and it makes life even a bit challenging or difficult as they try to grow in that marriage. So one of the key ingredients that sustains and strengthens marriage is prioritizing. Like I said, once upon a time you were a single person, but now you're married. So how do you prioritize? Two people prioritizing one thing, and they have to be on the same page without any conflict, without any rifts. This can be challenging. So to prioritize, it means to place what is most important first, to give attention to what truly matters, and to make deliberate choices that align with God's design for marriage. Like I said, there could be conflict. My husband might feel we are prioritizing finance, and the wife might feel, no, we have to prioritize our children. And then if they're not, in alignment with one another's priorities, there will be rifts in that marriage. So many marriages obviously struggle, not because they don't love each other, but because of misplaced priorities. Misplaced because they don't seem to be on the same page when it comes to the things that they need to both prioritize. So when couples fail to prioritize rightly, conflicts, misunderstandings, and even distance begin to creep in. But is that part of God's design for marriage? No. Does this thing come up in marriage? Yes, it does. So let us sit and talk about these things. Some people might not be prioritizing, that is their own challenge. It could be something else, it could be understanding. There's so many aspects to marriage that needs our attention, our deliberate and intentional attention. Otherwise, the marriage will suffer. So like I always say, God is the creator of this marriage institution. So prioritizing God above all, I feel, is important. I mean, the survival of that marriage really depends on God. And some may say, oh, I don't believe in God, but I'm married and my marriage is thriving. Look, I tell you for free this one. God created that institution When you go into that marriage institution, I tell you, whether you're surviving, whether you're not surviving, or what, God has created that institution you have entered into. Whether you're in denial of who God is or not, it doesn't even matter. Oh, thank you, Admissions, for the heart to me. So prioritizing God above all, this is number one priority, because the only way we can truly survive really is if we let God, the owner of this institution, guide us in what to make most important. So the first and greatest priority, well, this is my opinion anyways, in marriage is God himself. No relationship can thrive when God is pushed to the background. You might think, oh yeah, we're thriving, we're good and all. You might just hit some stumbling block here and there, and the only way is just to pray to God. It seems beyond you, it seems so huge and all of that. Let's go back to the creator of the marriage itself, so that he can give you insight into how to move forward past whatever conflict, past whatever it is you're finding difficult. The Bible says in Matthew 6:33, it says, but seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added to you. So are we the type that will push God to the back burner because we feel, yes, we're on top of this marriage game? We've been through glitches here and there, we've survived it, we're good, we're just good. So God is not there. I mean, God, yeah, God is there, but we have put in the effort, that's why we're thriving and all. I'll be careful. So couples must prioritize prayer, worship, and obedience to God. What is God telling us to do when we are in a marriage relationship? It's going to be different to compare to when you're a single person. You look out for yourself. So God should always be the front runner. Well, it should always be, but do people in marriage acknowledge that? That is another topic, for another day. But thank you so much for your contribution. Some people might, from the beginning, put God, and as they're going, life issues of life, challenges of life, and they just feel gradually they're pushing God aside, and before you know, God is pushed completely out of the equation, and yet they're still struggling and they don't know the reasons why, or they don't understand why. I don't know, you've tasted God before and now you shoved him out. I don't know how that relationship is, intending to grow. Anyways, couple, I feel, must prioritize spending time with God and obeying his word, especially regarding marriage. It's hard. It's not an easy thing to do, but the moment you agree to go into that marriage institution, you know that you have to learn to compromise. You have to learn to understand. You have to learn to prioritize with your spouse. Inviting God into the center of your marriage, it brings peace. It brings direction and it brings stability. I'm going to say this because it doesn't mean because God is in my marriage, we're not going to face any challenge. We're not going to face any difficulty. We're not even going to get to that place of almost separating. I'll be lying if that were to be the case. But, however, in the word of God, if you get to such stage in your marriage, there's always a word of God. There's always a word of God you can refer to. And even in the pain in the marriage, in the good times in the marriage, God's design for marriage is that husband and wife stay together, they live in peace, they get direction from him, how to go about navigating so that they can enjoy the goodness of that marriage. So allow God to take the wheels. God helping us, giving us the grace to let him. So a marriage rooted in Christ can withstand storms. I bet if you see couples, even in my own 26 and a half odd years, I can tell you testimonies. If you see couples who are even much, older in marriage, they will tell you things maybe in the earlier days when they got married. There'll be a particular challenge they had to go through together, or it could be towards the middle, it could be after a decade, this challenge will come. They will tell you. I was watching one video, was it earlier today or was it yesterday, about this very old couple. And the person interviewing them was asking, so what's the secret? You guys, you're quite, old, and I still see you together. And then the man said, the secret is integrity. openness and allowing God to be the center. I said, well, thank God. And then the woman too said, yes, allowing God to help you, because it's not easy. You know, I mean, they're quite old. They didn't say how long. I didn't get how long they've been married. But I mean, looking at those couples, they won't be nothing less than 40, 45. You know, so you can imagine two people spending 45 years together. And I think nothing of that nature would have happened that will almost make them even question the marriage altogether. But then the word of God is always there to calm us or calm situation during the storm. That is if we refer to the word of God. So let's see, prioritizing the spouse. After God, prioritizing the spouse. So after God, a husband or wife must take their spouse as their next highest priority, above the children, above work, above your extended family, above your personal ambition. You know, you find out that there's so many aspects of us in our lives as individuals that we bring together to merge with whoever our spouse is going to be. Sometimes there could be a clash of maybe personal ambition. There could be a clash between our extended families. There could even be clash with work. There could be clash with children, raising children, and all of that. But above all, whatever the clash is, husband and wife coming together, sitting down and talking about these things, and then knowing that above all, you are my number one priority. Because what God has done together, let no work, let no children, let no extended family, let no personal ambition bring asunder. But a lot of times, because we don't understand one another, we don't want to compromise, we don't want to, meet each other, at that midway, we find out that we find it hard to prioritize one another, and everybody is still nursing their personal ambition, or taking preference with their extended family over their spouse. These things are going to create problem in any marriage, no matter how understanding your spouse is. So husbands ought to love their own wives as their own bodies. He who loves his wife loves himself, Ephesians 5:28. So love must be shown through time, through attention, through affection. And it's important, because you find out that you hear all sort of stories. Oh, what's the reason why you guys not getting on again? You used to be in sync and all of that. And one spouse will say, oh, they're spending time with every other thing other than themselves. They're giving attention to every other thing other than themselves. They're giving affection to every other person other than themselves. And you want there to be peace in this house. No, there won't be peace at all. It means somebody is not trying to understand their spouse, or somebody is not trying to understand what is happening with their spouse. Remember, after God, the next person you should prioritize is your spouse. But do we really? Do we? I'm asking me, I'm asking you. Spouses must feel valued, not neglected, because these are things. I mean, if you don't feel valued in your marriage, you feel neglected, how then can you find time to actually prioritize? Because somebody is bringing attention to something like, I know we have other bits to attend to and all of that, but this I feel is priority. But because your spouse does not value what you have to say, or they neglect whatever it is you're saying, there will be chaos, there will be conflict. So we need to be mindful that as we prioritize our spouses, we need to prioritize, the things they're saying as well, that whatever it is they're bringing on board. Even if you're not in agreement with it, sit and talk about things until you reach that compromise. Because sometimes you may never agree, but you have to agree to disagree to agree, so to say. So you have to learn to be compromising. If you're the type that you don't have compromise in your book, in your notebook of life, you will have issues prioritizing with your spouse, because they'll just feel neglected all the time. So making each other a priority, it also strengthens the trust between you two. It strengthens intimacy, and like we've talked about in past times, friendship in marriage, it strengthens that friendship, because I know my spouse is prioritizing me as well as I'm prioritizing them in life. Because a lot of things will need our attention, but we should learn to prioritize our spouse after God. Again, we need to prioritize communication, because this is the key factor thing that holds this priority all together. Okay, if you don't talk about things, I'm thinking this is priority, my husband is thinking this is priority, and both of us thinking without saying it out loud, and then everybody goes about doing what they feel is priority. You just want to, what are you doing? What are you doing? I thought this is priority. No, I thought this is priority. See, assumptions. We have to sit and communicate, meaning you need to prioritize communication. Thank God I see you. Thanks for joining. Unapologetically the one, I see you. Thank you, Mama 4. I see you. Thanks for joining. So many marriages break down because of poor communication. Communication is not just about talking. It's about listening, understanding, and responding with love. That bit is a challenging bit, because your spouse might just be saying something that's putting you off, that you just don't see eye to eye with. But it's not just about talking, it's about listening, understanding, and responding with love, no matter how hard it is to the ears, you know. James 1:19 says, let every man be swift to hear and slow to speak, slow to wrath. So we need to prioritize listening over assuming. Because we just sit down and assume this is priority. I'm sure my husband is thinking this is priority. And you just go ahead and do it. And then you find out that it could be a waste of resource or resources, because you have gone to prioritize something, assuming your spouse to also prioritize that. And you've wasted that funds, and now they've come up with something, and you can even tell, oh my goodness, that should be priority. So don't just listen, don't just assume. Don't just assume, rather, you have to listen. Again, discuss challenges openly and respectfully. Like I said, disagree to agree, because it's not all you're going to live the rest of your lives together. You cannot always see eye to eye on everything. And if I say so, I'll be lying to you. There have been times I said, no, hey, there will be danger. This is what I see. That. And my husband said, no, this is priority. And then, going back and forth. And we can't seem to decide that particular day. Best leave it. Let everybody hear everyone. Go back and reflect, think about it. Come back again. You still have to prioritize communication. Sit down, talk about it openly again, respectfully, and then find a way to reach a middle ground so that you can progress in your marriage relationship. Again, celebrate victories, share your dreams, and encourage one another. Because when you prioritize each other, communication, if you don't tell your spouse, I just want that contract, and everybody's coming to say, congratulations, and your spouse is wondering, what are they congratulating you about? You're like, I've just got the contract. I don't know anything about it, because you are not prioritizing communication with your spouse. They're the last to hear of everything, or they're the last to know anything going on for you. That is no way to, build in that marriage relationship. So always find time to encourage one another, even if you don't understand their ambition. What is your spouse interested in? Whether you are interested in it or not, it's their interest, and it's on you as a spouse to support them. Give them the encouragement they need so that they can excel. At least they know somebody's cheering them up. Their number one cheerleader, of course. Again, prioritizing unity in decision making. This is very important. This is very, very crucial. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Couples must prioritize unity in decision, even when opinions differ. Amos 3:3 is a popular verse for believers, Say, can two walk together unless they agree? Can you truly work together with your spouse if you don't agree on everything? You're pulling this way, they're pulling that way. You can't sit down and just even agree, okay, this is the way we're moving. We're going north, we're not going east or west. And if you find it hard to do that most times, of course, that marriage really would stand the test of time. So we need to be mindful. We discuss finances, parenting, and family matters together, because we're trying to prioritize unity in our decision making. Avoid making major decisions without mutual consent. Don't just assume, like I said, because that could be detrimental to the growth of that relationship. When you feel, oh, I know my husband will be thinking this way as well, like I said, you could have just wasted a particular resources that you need to do something else without you knowing. So any major decision, either way, it has to be discussed. There has to be mutual consent before you carry out whatever it is. Otherwise, there will be problem. Can two work together unless they are agreed? Again, unity breeds what? Peace. I want peace in my marriage, don't I? Everybody wants peace. Peace, it breeds peace, while division invites conflict. Because when there's division, of course, there's chaos, there is conflict, there is disagreement, there might just be some resentment, anger, and all of those things put together. So it's very important that we prioritize unity when we're making decisions as couples. Again, prioritizing quality time together. As you're joining in, you're welcome. We're talking about prioritizing in marriage, and if couples are struggling in this aspect, it might bring issues in their marriage, and the goodness of that marriage may not just be seen or enjoyed. So prioritizing quality time together, we've kind of broken this down in previous weeks. So in the busyness of life, careers, children, and responsibilities, it is easy for couples to drift apart. Prioritizing time together is very important. This is what keeps the marriage going. It's one of the many things that will keep a marriage going. And you cannot be in a marriage and still be living as a single person, because you find out people, they don't transition into marriage. They're in a marriage relationship, but yet they're still living like a single person, like a bachelor, like a spinster. Their mind is still not adjusting to the fact that we are married now. We're supposed to talk how to move this marriage forward, this relationship forward. Find out this person is doing their thing, that one is doing their thing, especially when there's no children involved yet. Woman of Purpose, I see you. Good evening. 8:13, I hope you're good. Kate Climber, I see you. You changed your name. Joy Giver, I think. Did you change your name? I can see a different name, but the same picture. Well, all the same, you're welcome. So, in that business of life, your career, your children, responsibilities, it's very easy to drift apart. So you need to prioritize time together, because this is very important to keep gluing you two together. Date nights, vacations, or even simple walks, can keep the bond alive. But then you have to put that as priority. Still Joy Giver. Oh, okay. Another name, I just saw another name. Okay, I can see it now. Good evening. I hope you're good. Good to have you here. So prioritizing time together refreshes the love. It rekindles intimacy. Ayonitemi, my cousin, I see you. Good evening. I hope you're good. Thank you for the heart, me, Joy Giver. So memories created together form the glue that keeps the marriage strong. I think I've shared here, sometimes when things are a bit rocky, I go back to those old photo books. I just look at them, or my phone, I look at photos. I just smile. I'm like, well, these two shall pass, as we say, but God helping us really, that we need to have that sense of prioritizing together so that we'll keep the bond going. Again, prioritizing family without neglecting each other. Of course, we have to take care of our family, whether a nuclear family or extended family, as long as we're not pushing our spouse aside in order to do that, because that would not be good for that marriage. So children, extended family, and responsibilities, of course, like I said, are important, but they must not take the place of the marriage bond. Everything has its place. Hence, you have to prioritize, because when you don't do that and you're living based on assumptions, there will be problem. Say, for example, you guys did not sit down to talk about maybe the wife's relative coming to live with you. You just feel, oh, my husband is easygoing, he's carefree, he's understanding, he's all of that, and you just assumed that they'll be okay for your family to come and stay maybe for 6 months or however long, and you do not really discuss with them. You just say, my family is coming over. You just say it casually, and they didn't pay attention as such because the way you said it. In their own mind, this person is coming to visit and they're going away. And then God help you that on the day this family member is arriving, you're the one opening the door. Say particularly in the area of finances, I know admissions. And you open the door and you see bags and bags being pulled up your driveway, and you're wondering, what's happening? Say, I'm here to stay. And then the shocker, bam. Here to stay like how? I thought you were coming to visit. If care is not taken right from that day one, there would be conflict already. And then the husband will quickly drag, my dear, come, I want to see you in the kitchen. What's with the bags? Hey, but I told you my family member is coming. I said, no, I thought you said they're just coming to visit. What's with the bag? Oh, they're coming to live here. Imagine that huge decision. You just assumed your husband, your wife will be okay with it. And you didn't talk things through. And you just took that decision on their behalf. There will be problem. When you prioritize family member and you neglect, your spouse, there will be problem in that scenario. So imagine that person coming with all joy and all that. And the way they were met by the door, there's problem already. And then after, they say, Sister Me, you didn't tell your husband I'm coming. I mentioned it. You just assumed that you're coming to say hello and going back. I'm coming here to live with you. This is, and family conflict again will start from there. So there's conflict with the extended family. There's conflict with your spouse. Imagine what position you have put yourself. So don't assume major decisions like that. Don't neglect your spouse. Your comedy voice is laughable. Thank you. I'll take it as a compliment. I mean, these are things that happen. It sounds, laughable, but these are things that can actually break couples apart or can bring a wedge between them because they lost that communication in there. They neglected, speaking to their spouse and taking that big decision on their behalf. Imagine. So that relationship obviously is in trouble at that point in time. And God helping them, they don't sit down and find a way to resolving it. Perhaps the man might have to say, look, not even at this time, there's a lot going on. That means another mouth to feed and all of that. We cannot do this now. So please, you have to tell your cousin or whoever that not at this time. Maybe we'll reach out to them when we can accommodate them. And oh my God, you don't want to put yourself in that. And you feel so bad. Now you have to go and tell your family member they can't stay. Imagine that. So please, guys, to avoid such embarrassment and family feud, please talk to your spouse before making such huge decision. It's very important. Couples must find balance, caring for their family without allowing external pressures to overshadow their own relationship. It's very important. Another one I'm going to mention gradually. I'm rounding up gradually. Let's look at barriers to prioritizing in marriage. There's a reason why, like that example I gave, this person just assumed they can make decision for their spouse. But this decision is huge. I mean, another mouth to feed, somebody not just coming to say hello. You can sleep over overnight, maybe the weekend, but they're here to stay, as in to stay. And you don't feel the need to talk about it. Hey, be mindful. So barriers to prioritizing in marriage, one is busyness and overcommitment. Some people, they're too busy, they just assume, I've told you this, I've not told you this, and they just go ahead. They've gone to overcommit to their family member without even talking to their spouse. So the busyness of life sometimes makes us forget where our priority lies, because we're doing this, we're doing that, attending to this person, attending to that person, and at the end of the day, our spouses, we just assume they are okay, they'll be fine, and at the end of the day, they're not okay, they're not fine with that huge decision you've gone to make on their behalf. So be mindful that you're not too busy to prioritize communication with your spouse, so that you avoid this shame, embarrassment, and family feud, extended family feud, so to say. Another barrier is misplaced values. Like I said, career, money, or personal goals over marriage, over your spouse is good. Don't get me wrong. Career is good. Of course, money is good. It keeps everything rolling. Very necessary to talk because of overstayers. That's even another thing. This person, okay, some will even say, my cousin is coming to stay for 2 months, tops 2 months. And then you, okay, 2 months, I will survive. And then you now have to call your wife or your husband. And you now have to tell them, Mom, dear, the agreement was 2 months. This is 6 months already. This was not the agreement. And they're like, oh, sweetie, did you not like the way they're staying with us? They're helping us with the children. And then, but that was not the deal to start with. Even if you're going to extend their stay, you still have to sit down and talk about, my dear, it seems this person has come to do. Then years, hey, don't even go to years. You're even scaring me. As I saw that, my heart shook a bit. 6 months turned to 6 years. Abba. And you think marriage will be sweet and rosy. God helping you, that extended family person, they are nice and respectful and all that. Maybe they might get away with, just maybe. But if they're the ones that they can't wait to see the back of you, in fact, I don't think you will last a whole year there. So misplaced values. You might say, your work is needing your attention, you're prioritizing your work, and before you know, distance from you and your spouse, and before you know, you're almost living like strangers because your priority is just the career, or the money, personal goals, and all of those things. Or some people is extended family. I must look after my extended family, they have to be okay, and all of that, and yet your nuclear family is suffering for lack of attention or care or whatever it is. So misplaced values can be a barrier to prioritizing in marriage. Another one is lack of intentional effort. One of the things that really, really, really can be a conflict in prioritizing in marriage is when you just assume that we're married now, I know you, you know me, I know the way my husband thinks, I know the way my wife thinks, and now you're not even putting in the effort. They're there, they know I love them, they know I care. But these things, you cannot assume that they feel you're still on the same page in terms of intimacy, in terms of affection, and because they're not even seeing, let alone feeling it, because you're taking each other for granted. We've been married 15 years. They should know I love them. And now you're giving attention to every other thing but your spouse, and you feel that's okay. So you have to have that intentional effort to making sure that they know that you prioritize them over every other thing. Because when there is none of that, there will be problem. That's a barrier in that marriage right there. And the last one I'm going to mention, barriers to prioritizing in marriage, is influence from extended family or friends. Some people say a husband will leave his mother and father and cling to his wife. Some people, they will leave their father and mother physically, but emotionally, all the least, they're still clinging to their parents. And if not that, you and your spouse, you're sitting down, you want to make a decision about these 3 things you need to prioritize, and you're just sitting down. Maybe you just bring a cup of coffee or tea or something. Before you know, your spouse, pam, 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 pam. Hello, mommy. Yes, mommy. Yeah, it's me and whatever, Chris here. Yes, we're trying to decide number 1, number 2, and your spouse is looking at you like, we have not even started talking. This person have called their mom already. How on earth? How disrespectful? How this? And then they finish. Okay. Oh, mom, you think it's number 2? Okay, I'll let Chris know. Okay, mommy, thank you so much. And then you hang up. So Chris, so those things we're trying to decide. In fact, mommy just said we should prioritize number 2. And your spouse is looking at you like this. Yeah, the way I'm looking at you like, what on earth just happened? Can we not decide anything by ourselves? Must you always call your mother? Guys, the end. You guys finish the end for yourself by yourself. Me and Bolaji. Okay. Can relate. And these things happen. Sometimes it's the husband. He will call, yes, Dad. Yeah, we just want to make that decision now, and I just want to hear your views about it. And your wife is looking at you here, this daddy's voice. Can we not just make decisions? And as I'm trying to balance it so that I don't think I'm attacking the women, And the man with his voice like, Daddy, what do you reckon, Dad? What should we do about this? And the wife is thinking, but I thought it's between us. We want to discuss this thing so that we can prioritize what is best for our family. And yet, Daddy has called Daddy. And then the chaos begins saying, but you see that all the time, I've told you, we can always make decisions by ourselves. Must you call your dad? Must you call your brother? Must you call your sister or your aunt? It could be any extended family. Influence from that extended family, or it could be best friends or whatever. It's going to be a barrier for you prioritizing. God forbid, what happens if these people are no more? What's going to happen? Does that mean you cannot sit down and talk with your spouse and prioritize whatever needs prioritizing? Just think about it for a second. Except both of you have agreed, let's call your father, let's call your auntie, let's call your mother. Except you both agree to do that, then you're on the right track. Apos B, I see you. Good evening. Lati Wanle, I see you. So imagine if you both agree, that means both of you will be on that phone call together. Whatever questions both of you would ask, because you're in agreement, you have prioritized that decision together. You're going to call somebody. Not that both of you have agreed to sit and talk, both of you, and out of the blues you just call somebody. That really is going to bring issues in that marriage. So in as much as there's barriers, FunmiRoyal will balance this talk. Let's talk about the benefits of right prioritizing or prioritization. All this English, at least people, you understand what I'm trying to say. So the benefits when you prioritize rightly, it strengthens love and trust. You know that whatever it is you need to sit down and talk about or prioritize, your spouse, they've got your back, you've got their back, because you cannot afford to fail. So you have to put in your A game when you're trying to prioritize. Look at the pros and the cons together. Which one do you think right now we can manage and we will be both okay? Sit and talk about it. And when you do that amicably, with respect and all of that, it kind of bonds you. You just feel, oh, I just love this person. They get me. They get the way I think. You can trust them because, you're building that relationship as such. Another benefit is it reduces conflict and misunderstandings, because I know my spouse will not make certain decisions unless we talk about it. So that way we know there won't be any conflict. Imagine the scenario of one family member coming over and you just said it casually and all of that. No. So when you do prioritize rightly, you reduce conflict, you reduce being misunderstood. If that lady has said, excuse me, my dear, look, my relative is coming. The plan is to stay for 2-3 months tops, but I don't know what's your take about it, because I said to them, I need to speak with my husband first. I need to speak with my wife first. Whatever we agree, we is one. We agree, I will get back to you. Otherwise, I cannot make this decision on my own. If you say, but sister me now, sister me, I know cookies will not mind. The sweet talk you, let them not put you in trouble, if you don't want that conflict with your spouse. So be mindful that you don't take huge decisions without each other. Another benefit is it builds resilience during challenges, because challenging times, they never cease to come. They would come, and because you trust one another to sit and prioritize how you're going to face such challenges, not are facing each other, because most times that's what couples do, they face each other. Like, is your fault this happening? Is your that? No. How you face that challenge together, it kind of helps you build resilience. And then when you overcome whatever challenge it is together, because you've prioritized, you find out that the next challenge coming, it will be easier to just give your attention or your decision together, collectively on that as well. So it builds resilience over the years. And mind you, this is a lifelong journey you're embarking on anyways. Yeah, it's called marriage. So another benefit is it brings peace, it brings joy, it brings fulfillment in marriage. When I know that without a shadow of doubt, my spouse will prioritize my well-being first, or they'll prioritize whatever me first anyways, of course it's bound to bring peace, it's bound to bring joy to each other, and some fulfillment as well, because you know you've got each other's back, come rain come shine. Despite the challenges of life, you know you've got each other's back because you prioritize rightly, and that's one of the benefits. The last one I'm going to mention, there's so many, but because of time I'm going to be rounding off shortly. Set a godly example for children and others. It's very important when your children see the way you prioritize, you sit down, talk about things, and know your priority. Children are watching, and you're building in them as well that habit to prioritizing things, and they're learning from you. You're passing a good legacy on to the next generation. So it's a godly example worth passing on to the next generation. So imagine that's another benefit. So apart from it benefiting you and your spouse, it's going to benefit your children. As they see this, they grow in it. One day they're going to have a spouse of their own. Oh, thank you, Adibenga. Thank you, Elder, for the heart me. Thank you. So what are we passing on to our children? Is it chaos, conflict, misunderstandings, and assumptions? Is that what we're passing to the next generation? When we're talking about prioritizing in marriage, it's very crucial. A lot of divorce have come about because couples cannot just prioritize together. Good evening, Elder. I hope you're good. It's good to see you. I hope you're going to stay as well. Welcome to Insight with FunmiRoyal today. So I'm going to be concluding, and I'll open the floor. Let's talk some more about this. I mean, if you think you might have, or you might even know a couple here and there, then they're probably separated because they cannot prioritize. They don't have this, that unity is not just there, or once upon a time used to be there, and somehow life, career, children, it's kind of drifting things apart. Everybody just taking decisions on their own, and then it got to a time like a particular decision has now been made by one person, and now it's affected the whole family. Imagine what's going to happen to that marriage union. So prioritizing in marriage is not about perfection, mind you, but about making intentional choices together as a couple. Baritone, I see you. Good evening. So when couples put God first, value each other, communicate well, and make time for one another, they build marriages that are healthy, filled with joy, and of course long lasting. If I'm enjoying what I'm doing, I will keep at it. That's just, yeah. Good evening, host. You two are calling me host, okay? All the title that I've received on Insight, thank you so much. So it's very crucial, very important to keep that marriage relationship going. Like I say, you know, they say talk is cheap and all of that, but coordinator. Funny, Elder Adegbenga, you two, your own is coordinator. Okay, oh. I'm gonna read this portion of the Bible. 1 Corinthians 16:14. It says, "Let all that you do be done with love." I heard Jalade Ekende, you know, just few seconds of her submissions about marriage. I don't know what the question was because the video was just very short, but her response really encouraged me, because I'm like, she's a celebrity, and she's one of the long-standing celebrity in her marriage. She's been married for 20 something or whatever old years, you know. I mean, some others they try, but somehow yeah, people have come again. Okay, yeah, thank you, TikTok. You know, and what did she say? She said like, oh, am I always in love with this person? No, but the truth is, she made it so funny. She said sometimes you look at the husband and say, I left this person for that. I mean, I left this particular person, and how did I get stuck with this person? Like she said it. So sometimes you're not always in love, you're not always that, but we know that come what may, this too will pass. We have to be in here, we have to, you know. I really love what she said. And she said some people just fake it. Why are you faking things when you know that sometimes things could be so bad you almost question a lot of things. Sitting down to prioritize is not even in the matter at all. But the word of God is telling us here that let all that you do be done with love. That way you find out that there's joy in that relationship, it's healthy. And like I said, we're passing on something good to the next generation as well. So marriage is a lifelong journey. Is it always pleasant? No. And I'm telling you this, no, not all the time. And right priorities serve as a compass that guides couple towards unity, growth, and fulfillment altogether. So, as I round up, I know we always need the grace for this. As simple as this topic may sound, it breaks up marriages. Good evening, Leslie, hostess and honorable panel. Okay, the titles are coming in. Thank you so much. I hope you're good. Good to have you here. I pray that God will always help us to put God first at the center of our marriages, because He's the one that has created marriage. He's one that has all the answers to whatever challenges, to whatever issues, conflicts that we need to prioritize, whatever. He has all the answers with Him. So we need to get closer to God as a couple, as husband and wife, one man, one woman. I dare to put that out there. And we ask for wisdom, because these things takes wisdom to prioritize. Sometimes, like I say, we never would agree. It's so hard to reach a compromise even. Sometimes you may have to pray for wisdom and look at the pros and cons with the eye of God, so that you don't put your family in trouble. Say, I'm driving, so will be available in half an hour. It's fine. I'm still just rounding up my talk. And again, let's pray for all distractions that would make it seem like we're not prioritizing one another. All right, Elder, let's God will help us with such distractions, whether they be work, career, family, extended families, or whatever. And above all, I pray that God will teach us to communicate in love and in unity with our spouses, and that God will help us to, bless that time together. As much as we try, put the effort to spend time together, that it will be worth it. It will even save our marriage if need be, and strengthen that bond that we share on a daily basis. That is the end of my talk, guys, and I want to believe, the thing has been expanded in your heart. We'll share some more, because it's very, very important. If we can learn to prioritize together, it might just be what our relationship needs to go to the next level, in terms of unity, in terms of bonding, in terms of understanding. Marriage, when it is good, it's really good, but when it's bad, God help you. Indeed. Thank you, Leslie, for putting that out there. So guys, my one question for us today is, how can couples handle things when their priorities does not align? How can couples handle things when their priorities do not align? Because this is the issue, and that's why we're talking about it today. So let's rub minds, let us reason together, find a way out, so that you can learn, I can learn. Because if I'm not facing this challenge today, it might be the one I'll be facing tomorrow. So now remember, we treated this topic on Inside. What do we talk about? How do we do this? So let us rub minds together. So guys, thank you for listening to my talk. I'll open the box shortly.
Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Thank you, A13. Thank you, gracias. Thank you.
Promise the future and life.
So that is me sharing my 2 cents. Guys, please send an invite. Let's talk some more, rub minds, at least before we go to sleep tonight. You see, all these things we talk about here on Inside, they are issues of life. Especially in a marriage relationship. Like I said, if you're a single person, you don't even need to consult anybody. You just make decisions, go and do whatever you need to do. But when it comes to marriage, 2 people, 2 different backgrounds, 2 different mindsets are coming together to agree on one thing. God had better be the center of their marriage. Otherwise, Devil can use that to attack homes such that they never see eye to eye about anything, and then they just say, oh, we're not compatible, we don't see eye to eye, go your way, I go my way, and that's just the end of another marriage. So before it gets there, guys, let us talk about this. Let's find solution so that today we will learn and go reflect, change, do the necessary adjustment, sit down, have a constructive conversation with our spouses, and we do better. I'm pleading, we need to do better so that we enjoy that goodness of marriage. God helping all of us, really. So let's come up, let's talk about these things as we go into a lovely weekend. Let's see, 8:13, I'm not sure now which one. Leslie, let me still leave you in the box because I don't want that box to be full without you being in there. So let's see. Thank you, everyone. Good evening. Oh, Sheil, good evening. I hope you're good. Happy Thursday to you. Okay. You're muted. I hope you can speak where you are. Susan, I see you. Eldadi Binga, I don't know, let me call your attention. And I hope Debbie will join us today. Is that your girl, Debbie? Debbie, is that you? Because this picture I'm seeing here, I'm not too sure. Because I know you're going to divorce TikTok. Yes, you are here. Okay. Debbie, I'm not sure whether that's you in the box or all the same. If it's you, welcome. So, Sheon, good evening. I hope you are good.
Good evening. I'm the first person in the box today.
I know. Welcome. It's
I'm
good.
fine,
It's good.
and I just joined.
Ah. I hope I've not just wasted my clap now.
No, you haven't.
No, just kidding. So
Yeah.
we're talking about prioritizing. I don't know how much of the talk you heard, really.
Not a lot. Just give me a quick overview
Okay,
so
so
that I don't go off on the wrong
where
tangent.
do I begin from?
Like I said, a quick overview.
Okay, overview. I had to explain the prioritizing. It means to place what is most important first, to give attention to what really matters, and to also deliberate, with your partner, aligning it with God's word for us and all of that. Because sometimes prioritizing in marriage, if we're not careful, you find out that you're prioritizing your career above your spouse, your family, extended family above your spouse. I gave quite a number of examples. And one of the things I said, God designed marriage, as it were, and we have to prioritize God first in our marriages, because if it's not going to work, He's the person we have to run to. Well, you and I know that not everyone that engages in marriage is acknowledging that God even exists. But I said they're in denial because God created marriage institution in the first place. So when you prioritize God, it'll be easier for you to prioritize one another and know that come what may, I've got family members, I've got career, I've got personal ambition, I've got children, or we've got children. God first, my spouse then, other bits can come as priority. Because if we don't follow things, we don't align things, there will be trouble. There will be chaos in that marriage. So we need to prioritize our spouse. We need to prioritize communication as well. You don't make priority based on assumption, thinking your husband will go along with this. You just go and make that decision. And at the end of the day, the man is looking at you. Where did this come from? We didn't talk about it. We didn't even talk about it. Why would you assume I'll be on board? And then there's problem because they didn't prioritize communication with their spouse. And again, I said prioritizing unity in decision making. So whatever it is, whether big, small decisions, make sure you do it together. It just means that you prioritize one another no matter what. And this kind of promotes unity in the marriage. And then in terms of quality time as well, you need to prioritize this with your spouse, because sometimes some spouse, they don't believe in that. We're good. I've been married 20 years. Now, you're my number one and all that. But then you're not doing anything to show, so your spouse might just feel this person is forgetting me or is not prioritizing me, and that might bring some sort of chaos. And again, prioritizing family without neglecting each other. Of course, you have extended family, parents, siblings, or cousins, depending on how close you are, and you now start prioritizing them over your spouse, or you bring them over to come and live with you without discussing with your spouse, there'll be trouble. So we talked about barriers. You like see me and do my talk again. Barriers to prioritizing business of life over commitment, misplaced values, lack of intentional effort, or influenced by extended family or friends. And of course, there are benefits. There are benefits to it. It strengthens your love and trust when you're able to prioritize one another or with each other. It reduces the conflict and misunderstandings. It helps to build resilience. It brings peace, and you're setting good examples for your children because they will see how both of you are prioritizing together in your marriage, and you're setting good examples for them. So, my question today now is how can couples handle things when their priorities does not align together, so to say? So, how can they prioritize together, or how can they handle things when it's like it's cut like, no, this is my priority, this is your priority, it's not being compromised. In fact, it's just problem. What would you advise them to do, or how should they handle things? Does that
Well, first
work?
of all, can you hear me?
I can.
Yeah, thank you for having to do your talk again.
All right. I'm the
Um,
lecturer now, Abby. Top
Yes,
of my
so
titles.
what you asked, the question that you asked is I think the lifelong task of every relationship.
You're
You're
beginning
going
to
to,
sound afar off. Are you close by your device?
I am close to my device. Hold
Are
on
you
a
using
second.
like an earpiece or something?
Yes, I was.
That's
Just a
all.
second.
Yeah.
okay, can you hear me now?
Much louder. Thank
Is it
you.
better now?
Way better.
Okay. The question, it is a lifelong task for any married couple. You're going to be dealing with priority, I think, for the entirety of your marriage.
Please
Because
tell them.
because life is going to be throwing things on a regular, and you have to start prioritizing which is more important, which is not important. I think what I would like to add is the fact that sometimes we know what the priority should be, but doing it is something else. So I have a relative where one of the issues he has is the fact that he's married, they have two girls, but his wife's actions shows that after God, her family comes first before he does.
Wow. When you
Even
say family, are you talking about the children or extended family?
extended family, her
Oh,
mother, the wife's siblings, and even the children, their children comes before him. And even though she says otherwise, the actions don't support what she's saying.
yeah.
And that's the reason why I said that. On the one hand, people sometimes know what to do, but
But
their actions don't follow through.
mm,
And it's
that's a barrier.
it's an issue. I wouldn't even say it was an issue. I still think it's an issue. It's better, but you can see it in the actions
Yeah.
to the extent that sometimes they need to make a decision and the decision is made outside their marriage and he has to kind of go through with it. So it is a lifelong issue, but the one thing we can do is to sit down and come to an agreement about what is most important. In my house, for example, if my mom is going to stay over for like a month or two, I have to run it all with my wife. In the past, I didn't, but
Oh, you
no,
just
no, no,
assume she'll be fine with it.
no, in the past, I didn't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the past, was it
Yeah,
that you
yeah,
just
yeah.
assumed that she'll be
No,
okay?
no, no, exactly.
Okay.
Is no offense. I was a
Thank
typical
you.
Nigerian man. Let me be honest with you. I'll be
Really?
honest. I'll be honest with you. My mom is coming. My
We
mom is
appreciate
coming.
that.
But the thing is, as long as you make a promise to yourself
Yeah.
to continually become a better person and a better version of yourself than the year before,
Yeah.
and
That's
you make it a lifelong decision,
early and
you
you.
you will grow, irrespective of your spouse, irrespective of whatever happens around you. And it's something that I decided to do, I think maybe third year of marriage, because I just started
So
seeing
wait,
cracks.
Sean, because we're being practical here, those days back in the day,
Yes.
was your wife happy with you making such decisions without consulting her?
Honestly, looking back, she wasn't happy, but she never said anything.
Oh, okay.
She never said anything.
Dutiful wife, I guess.
No, she never said anything. She'd bring it up occasionally, but I just dismissed it. It wasn't a big deal. I mean, she's it wasn't a big deal. But over time, and
I know.
I be, I believe that over time, you have the initial phase of marriage where you're infatuated and you're happy that you got married. Then you get to this phase where everything is shaky and you don't understand. Then I believe you get to this phase where everything breaks down. And that period where everything breaks down, one of two things happen: is either you rise from the ashes or the marriage breaks. I feel that once you survive that period where everything breaks down, because that point is a critical point where you and your partner have to decide,
Yeah.
do we move forward? Can we get past this issue? Are we together on this? And that phase is where both of you, I think, transform to become one. Then you now move to this mature phase. I'm just speaking from my experience,
Yeah, I
you know.
understand perfectly.
And I think that a lot of people, it is that critical phase where everything breaks down. Some people don't survive.
Yeah, true. I mean,
You know,
hence we have divorce on our
Exa-
hands. Yeah.
exactly. So, and once you rise from the ashes, you become a different person. She becomes a different person. Then you can now start this journey together where, okay, this is what we've decided. What are our priorities? What are our goals? I need to respect your emotions. My mom is coming over, but I need to prioritize her coming. I need to ask for your, well, not, well, I'll say ask your permission. Let me use the word. I wouldn't say notify you because that means I'm just telling you.
Well, you
But
want to talk about it because I mean,
yes. But if the reason why I say permission is if she says no, then what do you do? It's not like she's still gonna come.
so if she had said no to you, Shane, what would you have done?
If to be honest, if she says no to me, I will come back and toast her. She's my wife. I can always go
Hey,
around.
come on, woo her again.
I can always go around somehow, somehow. There's always, how do they say it? You can in Yoruba onokon waja, which basically
Yeah,
means
you know,
there's there's there's
so many routes to the market. So
exactly. So if it's something important, and sometimes depending on what's happening,
okay,
I can tell, at least it's happened in the past where I've told my mom it's not convenient. Can we move it forward by a month or 2 months, or can you go and chill with my other siblings for like the month because right now it's not convenient.
easy.
And that's what I mean about permission. But communication is key.
Oh,
Both of you discussing it is key, but both of you agreeing and being on the same page, and both of you following through on what was agreed. Because I've seen situations in couples where you sit down, you discuss,
and I agree.
agree, and the other person goes and does whatever.
I can relate.
I've seen that. I've seen that with nephews and aunties. And you call them and you're like, but we discussed this thing. We agreed on this thing. And the person is just looking at you like, so I've done it. So what's going to happen now?
That is not good.
So I'm always stressing, I always stress, to people there is knowing what to do and there is actually doing it.
Yeah.
They're two different things.
Challenge, really. Yeah.
People always think just because you know what to do, automatically you'll do it. No, 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 no. And like I always tell my wife, look at people's actions. People say a lot of stuff. Forget the fluff. What does this person's actions? What does
Actions speak louder than words, yeah.
what does it tell you? She says she loves him, but you'll find out that before a decision is made in the family, the siblings already know. The mother-in-law already knows. They've already discussed it. They've already decided. What she's doing now is she's trying to convince the husband on the decision that was made by her siblings and her mom. And he's now saying no. We now have an issue. I can't help you. Because really, it should be the other way around. He should sit with his husband. They should decide on what they want to do in their family and how they want to move their family forward. Then the siblings can be notified. I mean, he didn't marry the mother-in-law.
Let's keep tapping, please.
So for me, it's very, very important to be able to, it's important to prioritize. And an offset of that, and I don't want to, take too much of the conversation, is the priority list is also, the order of the priority is also important. I was talking to my cousin. I said, if you meet somebody, a couple that is married, and the husband's his values, the order is family, health, career, and the wife's value is the same thing, but it is family,
Career,
career, and health. Even though it's the same value, the order changes how they're going to operate.
Yeah. It will.
Some people will do anything for their career at the expense of their family
Yeah.
because they need to make the money. And some people will throw away their career for their family. They will throw their career away just for their family to stay. That priority list is important and the order is critical because the outcomes are very different.
Definitely.
Some people work till 10 o'clock. They don't mind. It's job. It's important. They need the money. And some people, once it's 6 o'clock, you cannot say hello. They'll tell you, I'm taking my boy to football. Keep your job.
At least that's their priority at that time, So
Exactly. That's their priority. So in a nutshell, it's very, very important, but communication is key. But not just communication, people following through and being accountable for their actions is also key.
Yeah.
So I'll leave it at that.
All right. Thank you, Cheryl. Thank you so much. Hey, I hope you've left something for others to say, but I trust my community. Leslie, are you still driving or you're good to talk? I don't know if you can even respond. If he's still driving, I don't know. Leslie, can you speak or I move to the next person? Okay, I think I'll move on. Susan, good evening. I hope you are good.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I'm very good. Just came back from work and I have an early start tomorrow again. So,
Okay, so let's just take maybe 10 minutes of your time then.
that's why I accepted quickly so that I can.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, honestly. Thank you. I hope you're good.
Yes, I am very good. Thank you.
I'll say you.
Prioritizing in marriage. So, what's the question now?
The question is, how can couples handle things when their priorities does not align?
Well, it's just like when God asked Solomon, "What do you want?" Me and you, we answer God, "Give me money, give me this, give me that." But Solomon asked for wisdom. And when your priorities don't align as couple, there's always that room to get crash.
Hey.
Even your good morning will crash because then it's not palatable anymore. It's not good anymore. And
Okay. Honestly.
continue from where Shenwu stopped, or where he stopped, like he said, he never used to. His mom would just come and life goes on. even though the wife does not complain. But the thing is, it still boils down to communication. If I will deviate or go back to my first marriage before my son's dad passed, you know, when his siblings plan to come, he doesn't tell me. The only thing, I'll just receive a phone call from the sister to say, ah, we don't book ticket though, we they come, wait you want make her buy.
Wow.
And I'm like, seriously? Just like that. And then when he comes back, I'm like, ah, your sister called. See. He said, and I don't book tickets. And I make her say, may she call you. I'm like, wow. So you cannot tell me. This is something that we need to discuss. Before he passed, I was traveling to Nigeria with my son. We were at home and I told him my itineraries, things I would do. And then we got to Nigeria. The next thing, their young guest, their last one was now calling me that, oh, he said we should go to their village to go and see mama, to carry the son to see mama. I'm like, ah. And then the kidnapping, this thing was really, really, the rate was really high. I'm like, we didn't discuss this. So I am not going. He was like, but I said, we left the same house. I told you my itineraries. If you had discussed this with me, I would plan with my brother and say, okay, guy, carry car, may we go or go see mama. But you didn't plan all those things. Instead, your brother will now come from Lagos to Port Harcourt, and then we'll start going and say, I don't even know your plans before they'll go kidnap me for your village and not fish out. All those things. I was like, no. I came back. We didn't go to see his mom. He was furious about it. We had to call one of his friends. And when we put the table down, the friend was like, oh boy, you guys didn't discuss this. For that one, I'm not going to hold her to ransom. You didn't discuss it because you were at home together. So this is something you put on the table and talk about. Unfortunately, the mom passed without seeing my son. I said, anyway, my mom too did not see my son. So now one. It's a painful thing, but that is what prioritizing things in marriage does. It could end up in a good way, but I'm just trying to start up with a bad way while it ended, because nothing stops me from going there. Obviously, she's my mother-in-law, but we did not discuss it. So that's discussion. That's why I say sometimes when you don't prioritize things, even the good morning is not palatable to the ears because it'll be irritating you. When you tell me good morning, I'm like, oh, I beg. What's good about the morning? Because there's nothing to expect. You are both moving in two different directions. Imagine somebody that is sick. You just came out from hospital bed and you're going to work. Where is your priority? And then I'll call the sister and say, can you speak to your brother? See this. Make him go work. Nana, I won't work. Wow. Meanwhile, he sends all his money to her. So you see that kind of his siblings were his number one priority. So all those things, and I believe many of us did that mistake to say, oh, probably because of the way we were all brought up, we were brought up in love, to say, oh, carry your siblings, carry everybody along. And then you get married, you don't know how to prioritize, to say, oh, this is this, this is that. And I learned that from my mom. She took her siblings as number one. Even though he broke the marriage, he broke her own marriage, she was still carrying them. She was still seeing them like those little ones that, because her mom stayed 10 years after giving birth to her. So she now felt she's the mother hen. Even when they are grown up, she still don't see them as grown up people. She still sees them as, oh, those little ones. Even to her dying bed, she was still seeing them as the little ones. And we had to correct us. No, 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 no. These people are grown up. And then when it's time to contribute money, they don't even think about you. Or when it's time to do something, they don't think about you. But you are always thinking about them. And I had to sit down and pause for a while and said, come on, why this is an error. It's a big error because even me, I used to put my younger brother as my next of kin.
Oh.
Yes. Until I had my son, I say, I beg go. I had to switch. I had to switch immediately.
You're not your first house.
And then seeing the rubbish he's doing now, I'm like, Father, thank you. It's like a saving grace or like an eye opener. And if we don't correct it now, we'll still be destroying a lot of things unknowingly, thinking it is love. And sometimes we do things in our genuine mind to say, oh, now my brother, now my sister, now the same womb we did. But it's not always the end. Because when they want to do you, they don't look back. They don't look back. I remember when we brought my mom to this country, my auntie has been applying and applying. They kept refusing. And so my elder sister had to apply. We brought her. Do you know what the younger sister said? Now who una dump on her mama for? As if that same mama not be your sister. And then I had to sit down and say, oh, and that was when my mother's prayers changed. In Genesis 8, the way God remembered Noah and his children, she was like, Father, remember Clara and her four. Remember Clara and her four. And I had to change that prayer to my own. Remember me and my children as well. Because you don't know. Now we take the siblings as priority. We enter marriage, we forget that we are in another relationship. And then we now prioritize this family, hold them so much in our hearts, and then displease our marriage. Our marriage will be suffering for not just cause. In the name of love. Both of them are love, but we need to prioritize the love. A lot of marriages have broken down because of these things, these silly mistakes that we do. I know a friend, he has built 38 flats in Nigeria. Meanwhile, his family here are suffering. They are suffering. Even his own house, things are falling apart. He's not even seeing it. All he sees is my family back home. My family back home. These are grown-up people. You have children here. Your children, have you ever sat down to think, these kids, will they ever go back to this so-called back home that you are building so much mansion? Will they ever go back there? But no, we don't think about that. All we think about is this. We still see our siblings as the little ones. Probably that's why we have refused to let go.
Grown adults.
Yes, with full teeth in their mouth, and we still see them. The other day I had to tell my auntie, she was like, she was asking, oh, what's your best food? I said yam and fried egg. She was like, that food where they make you vomit. I said, when was that? When I was 2. I said, more.
Seriously. That's forever ago.
So stop seeing me as that little girl. I've grown up. And that's the mistake. Probably our sight. We should pray for wisdom. That God will change our sight. Because our sight, we still see these grown-up children as kids. The kids that, we run after, change their pampers. They are grown. And when you see the way our people back home talk to the children here, they're like, every time you like asking why. I'm like, yes, because they want to know. They want to know why you're doing what you're doing. Now back to marriage. We go into marriage, we think, it's a bed of roses. Like Shehu said, he's the African man. Hey, he used to be. Anyway, no more. Thank God for that deliverance.
Thank God.
Because it's not easy. I know that ego in our African men is still there, but the land that we are living in has really softened our hearts. It's really changed us in a way that we can learn to listen to our wives, and we can learn to listen to our spouse and make decisions together.
Yeah, indeed.
Somebody who all he knows in his life is work, work, work. Whether the children eat, so it is not his problem. I'm like, so who are you working for? Who will eat this money that you are working for?
I see.
You're not even thinking of your own health. You just walk, walk, walk. Even in you are sick, you are still rushing. Why don't you put your priorities straight?
You know how many
These
people have
people,
collapsed at work?
and as soon as you collapse, they've replaced you immediately.
One time.
The day I just called them, I say, they were calling him to go to work. I said, he just passed, or he's dead. They just took him off the WhatsApp. And I was shocked. I said, whoa, see job where this guy carry for head, like saying my papa get the job. They never even bury you, they don't come on you for WhatsApp.
Wow.
So
Hey.
the things that we really hold on to, we need to sit down and say, is this really important? Is this really why I'm here? I just
You are wild. I'm
yeah.
wild.
I know, right? When you see people walking down the street, you don't know what they've gone through. You don't know what they've gone through. You don't know what they are going through. You don't know the size of shoe they are wearing. If I begin to pour out all the things I saw in my first marriage, I'm sure people will be wondering, oh girl, this is your marriage. Waiting, and only you. I say, yes, so only me.
We learn. We have to learn from those things so we can do better.
But do you want to kill yourself in learning? Can't you learn from people's experience? Do you have to experience it to learn?
Sometimes we learn the hard way, sis.
And then you die. So when
The
you
best
die,
thing
what
now.
have you learned?
Maybe don't learn the hard way.
That
Oh.
is it now.
That's why we have to be flexible. Otherwise,
It's 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 really annoying, but God will help us. Let me leave it so that other people will have
thank you, Susan.
something to
Thank
say.
you. Those are real raw life examples. Oh, thank you, Baritone, for the gift. Raw, very raw, because I know some people are out there listening, and that's why I say this thing sometimes. Some people will just go and prioritize and they'll just walk away. But marriages are breaking up, just like you said, and a lot of times, would we even say it's ignorance? I don't even know, but yeah, let's open the floor. Let's.
Stupidity. It's stupidity. It's not ignorance, because even when you tell them, they block their
Oh, Susan, be coming down like this. Okay, she said it's stupidity, is not ignorance. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, Baritone. So I don't know. Some people have been dropped and they're back in. Leslie, can you speak? At least I know you were up there before. Can you speak now, or do you want me to say carry on? Leslie, okay, I'm gonna come to. I don't know whether it's Kenneth now because he dropped off as well. Okay, Adegbenga, Elder Adegbenga, good evening. How are you? I hope you're there as well because you said you'll be right back, and that was some minutes ago. Are you there, Elder Adegbenga? Are you there? Otherwise, moving because of time. Okay, I think he's not available yet. Kenneth, can you speak now, please?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, woman of God.
Good evening, sir. Thank you for
We want
joining.
to thank God. We want to thank God once again for this gathering because it's God that make it possible for us to be here, not our power. I thank Sheung and I thank Sister Susan that has spoken because she make a comment if you answer a question and she say it's stupidity of a truth. The mistake, most of the mistake that we are making, prioritizing in marriage, at times the people we are feeling for, the people we have affection for, we don't know that they don't have that affection for us. We don't know that they have their own plan or they have their own way of doing things. But we thought maybe they're our sibling,
You're on
or
board
then
together. Yeah.
we would put them first. Because almost what Susan say, I think it happened to me when I first got married. Even to the extent of a truth, my mother was my next of kin. Everything, everything,
Who has put people in trouble? Oh.
everything that I have.
Next
Not
excuse.
until I went to Nigeria 2012, I decided to take her off
Hmm.
everything because I see that she was misusing everything, and I have kids. The truth, we take them as our sibling, our mother, our brothers and mothers. They never have that thought for us, and we are believing
But
that
then the
we are
person you
one.
have used to do your next of kin, have they put you as their own next of
No,
kin?
never, 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 never,
Oh, you
never.
think twice about it.
So we even by then, of a truth, me, we say I'm one of those victims because my wife saw all this thing, but she was saying it from the very beginning, but I never listened. I never believe what he said. I said, no, these are my blood, these are my blood sister, these are my blood brother. But at the end, I find out and I apologize of a truth that everything she is saying, she's right. Whereby your own spouse will not know that your sister or your brother is coming. You all of a sudden you will just find then your husband, and you will wonder what is this person doing here. You say no, she's coming to stay for some days without no informing her, without not
Maybe some
letting
days,
her
some days
know.
is even good. What about 6 months?
Yeah.
Months.
Eh?
Yes.
Hey,
So
that was the
of
example
of
I
a
gave.
truth,
Yeah.
you said it that we learn the hard way of a truth. Many of us we mess up and we make a lot of mistake. We thank God that now we are realizing and God is helping us to put things in place, and that African mentality that we made, that ego that we made, that we are having, we thank God that God is taking it little by little. No, it's still there, but little by little is going
God
because
is
of
helping
it.
you.
Of it truth.
Wow.
Prioritizing in marriage of a truth. Me, I cannot hide. I cannot hide it, and I cannot lie. I mess up my first 4 to 5 years in marriage. I mess up because I'm so believe in family and to put trust in family, and I think by then I was thinking that we are one big family, but I don't know that everyone have their own art and their own what they are
Agenda.
thinking and what their plans, their agenda as well. So, but I think when I begin to grow and I begin to listen to the word of God, that is why it's good for counseling, and attend all this marriage class so that you will know what other people are going through. So when I begin to listen to others, I begin to learn, and I begin to change my way and my thinking, my mentality, the things I used to do before. I try to do them no more, to correct things and try to make sure everything work out for us. But it's good to communicate. Communication of a truth, as Sheikh said, is one of the first key to let your spouse know. Don't think that because you marry her, she don't have anything, like our African people will say that May is the head, May is this. No, at times
Her
two
place is in the kitchen,
two
the
of you.
decision making
Yeah,
part.
exactly. That is very wrong. That is very wrong, and it will not help at all because the woman has suggestion as well, and the woman can guide you, the woman can direct you and lead you to the right path of life. But when you begin to put your family first, you get everything wrong. At the end of the day, you are the one causing problem to your own. You are the one causing problem to your marriage because when everything crash, those people they won't be there. They won't be there anymore. At the end of the day, they will start laughing at you. They will start telling you that your marriage did not work. So, but you did not know that you are the one that make your own marriage did not work, and they are living in peace in their own home. But at the end of the day, you will begin to find solution how to put your own in order. But we thank God as we begin to grow, we begin to learn, and we begin to make sure that the mistake that we make before don't repeat themselves again. We thank God for everything.
So
Thank
Kenny,
you.
let me ask you the question for today. So how
Yes.
can couples handle things when their priorities does not align? What can they do?
Okay. What I normally do if we don't agree on something, at least I first of all make sure that we are calm. Maybe 1 or 2 days. There must be an argument, but I'll make sure that those things come first, and I will go back again to this thing. How can we put it in order? Then when my wife bring idea, I bring idea. Okay, at the end of the day, we will look the one that is vital and the one to use so that we don't crash again. There must surely be some at times we crash. It's normal, but we, first of all, I give some space and some time to make sure we try to get ourselves back and recall where we get it wrong at the first place, so that we don't get it wrong the second time again. It might take some days to make sure that everybody is calm, everybody is living in peace and harmony. Then when we come back again, we present the matter, and at times we ask the Holy Spirit for direction, because if the Holy Spirit did not direct us, we will make the same mistake again. So what I normally do, for me, I've always asked the Holy Spirit, is it the right time to represent this matter again? Then when you say yes, I go ahead, and all of a sudden you will see that those things that you are having misunderstanding for is very easy, because why, in the first place, you didn't ask the Holy Spirit for direction. You just feel that you want to do it your own way, and your own way will not work, because that other person have his own thinking and his own way as well. That is why when you present it to the Holy Spirit, He will not tell you it's time. And when you already convince that person, the moment you are speaking, that person will listen to you, and both of you will come to agreement. That is what I know, ma.
Okay, thank you, sir. There's a way that seems right to a man, but the end thereof is destruction. So we need the help of the Holy Spirit. I mean, as I say, for some people, they might say, oh, we don't believe in God or whatever, and we're thriving in our marriage. But you might think you're thriving. You can even enjoy it better with God. That's just what it means. Thank you so much for that contribution. I just hope people who are listening will take to that advice when you get stuck. I mean, that's the question there. How can couples handle things when the priorities does not align? Allow the Holy Spirit, as Kenneth have said. Well, thank you so much for sharing that. So, to be honest, I don't even know who next to come to. I don't know if you can speak, or I go to admissions. Please let me know if you can speak, so that I'll just go straight to the next person. Or Leslie, can you speak? Are you okay to speak? Okay, admissions, it's you then. I'm going to come to you. Good evening, and it's good to see you back.
Yeah, good evening, everybody.
We have missed you. I'm not sure you were here on Monday, actually.
No, not last week, I must admit.
Okay.
I got hooked up with so many things. Yeah.
Hey,
Everything
issues
is
of
all right.
life. Hustling and buzzing
Yeah.
of life.
There
Waiting
was
to
one
your
thing I've
admission.
observed just right now. Most of the thing that
Okay.
would have, so I'm going to pick just one of the aspects so that we don't get to talk about the same thing,
Okay.
all of us. Because I discovered as Kenneth, our brother Kenneth was talking, it was almost as if he's using my tongue. And the way he was saying, yeah,
So
we're just
everybody
matching.
that are married can
They
seem
were
to relate.
matching what I would have said and all that, except in the area of at some point trying to kind of do the African man. No, I think I have been the subtulent, and I found out that my wife was just like a match for my weaknesses, and I'm giving glory to God. I did not even know much of it, but as we carry on into 10, 15, and I'm like, wow, God has a way of matchmaking us in a perfect way. And I think I'll even go back to my mind and say, of all the girls I had then, girls, I'm not ashamed to say the whole list of girls and all that. How come that when I met her,
Really?
girls, when I met her, there was something about her that was like, this is it. I'm not going further.
No.
I'm going to take this and close my eyes to all others. And that was it. So I think the Lord was announcing the fact that that's the one I want for you.
Wow.
And it's been that all that way. When it comes to the area of taking decisions, I think I left a whole lot of them for her, and she was taking it. Because I found out every time I go into argument, I was not winning. And even if I win, it's very temporary. She has a way of kind of dribbling me, and we go back to hers. And I started surrendering and all that. Yeah. I'm like, what do I do? Because I found that in the end, she takes a very good decision. The peace, which could have been elusive, is here. We're moving on. Challenges came, and we're moving on. Even when challenges came through the third party and all the rest, she's still holding my hands. So we carried on. So in a way, we've been able to forge on. There was one thing I saw when you were also talking about this. Communication is very crucial. We can't rule that out. That's why almost all of us have touched it. Very crucial, because you have to discuss things. Even when you are met with a brick wall, you still have to come back again, put it on the table at a different time. Like Brother Kenneth said, watch the time, watch the mood, bring it back, and you see that you're beginning to understand each other much, much better. And I also saw that I said things like when we get too busy, then the other person is talking to you, you're not even listening. As they're saying it, you're already on your way out. You just feel like maybe bringing money in, and that's no. Whereas you're supposed to sit down and have a serious dialogue where you bring things together and form an opinion of what you have to do. Yeah, that happens a lot in most marriages. Yeah, busy, and it's more on our side. The men will be like, as long as I bring the money in and blah blah. But you are still needed in terms of emotional contribution. Yeah, that role that you are meant to play and all the rest. And there was one thing I saw when we were talking about barriers and all that, and I saw that if you look at it, I think I saw over that in many marriages that I was closer to, the wives keep winning. There's always this kind of
When you say winning, it's not a battle.
I stand to, yeah. I hope I will not be in trouble, but I'm just trying to express my mind. Yeah, for like when, particularly in rich homes, they all come, the wife's relations are there, the man's relations are there. You find out that no matter, they win more. Yeah, in terms of access to cars, access to goodies, sharing of duties and all the rest. Yeah, at the end of the day, you find out even the other end, the ones from the men may have to leave the house because you find out, no matter how you feel, you have access to your uncle or
The
your
happy
brother or
wife
whatever.
is a happy home, as they say.
That side wins. And I'm sure somebody somewhere must have been a victim that will say, I think this guy is speaking me to just like brother speak. Yeah, we had a rich home, they have everything's were running, yet in terms of in terms of distribution and all that, things were not. The wife side was winning more. And I can see access to cars, the best of the cars were being driven by them. There was that discriminating line. So so much that even some will have to find their level and try and see if they can patch with other uncles and all the rest. This home, everything is there, but there is discrimination somewhere along there. Wives are very powerful. They have a way of winning, whether we admit it or not. So when you sit down at that table and you're discussing, if you're lucky to have the one that will take good decisions, that will, you better let her instead of contending and say, I'm the macho man in Africa and all. Well, that's all nonsense. I did not even do it before I got to this level. And thank God I'm able to kind of, with the environment that one has found himself now, I'm not even thinking of trying to lord it over my wife and say, this is it, and all the rest. Yeah, I hope I'm not in trouble.
No.
Yes, but that is it. The wife side is always winning.
What did you say? Well, you're not in trouble with me because everybody is sharing their views here. It's Madame at home that I cannot speak for now. So, but
Yes. Because I remember even one thing, as I'm saying, I remember at some point, as a lot of us are drawing inferences from our marriages and all that, why we decided that nobody was coming to really stay with us at the very young stage of the marriage. Two of my cousins, they were not even far, just next cousins were trying to come in. And instead of letting them, we decided we'll rent a place for them to stay around. I was still paying their bills. I was still doing all that I had to do. And these guys even felt lucky because I was pampering them somewhere along the line. They were getting everything they want from me simply because they agreed with me that they will leave, not necessarily with us and all that. But at the point that a senior brother of ours was coming from another country to come and stay, the door was opened even before I could join in that decision. This guy came and stayed with us. Before you know it again, a fiancé came from that same country to join us. See, in settling down, I contributed so much and everything, getting them to settle down. And they were not even living at the time we wanted to lead them to leave. And I'm like, what's happening here? Until the brother himself became a problem to her. Yeah, it became, this kind of very, I'm your brother, he was petty, was speaking things. And the woman herself came to me and said, look, this guy has got to leave. I said, yeah, I was ready all along. How much would it cost us? I said, I have as much as this. I'll call it a borrow, but let's give it to him so that he leaves this house and we can. And he left, and we carried on smoothly again.
Oh,
If
thank
she had not agreed at that point, if it was a woman who would have fight me back, it would have been a different thing. But you can see she still beat me to it. My cousin stays out there where all things were happening very well for them. But when she wanted to bring her own senior brother, I don't think I had much say. It was more of like an announcement that my senior brother is coming, and when he comes, and that was it. Until that issue that the guy was not necessarily a very well behaved person, and she herself was feeling it. The day she said that word and said, I think this guy, I said, yes. Even if it's not, the money is not, I'm going to put as much as this. Let's get them a different place. Now that he's even bringing their fiancé and they went and stay.
Yeah.
So that actually, I'm drawing my inferences from my experience so that I balance it up and tell you that, yeah, you're always winning. You better just give up. If you're there contending and thinking, yeah, leave her and just do yes, man.
Thank you. Thank you. So in order to just to balance what you've said, like every season in our marriages, we'll learn, we'll grow, we'll learn, we'll grow. But the truth is, because some people might just be coming up in their own marriage, and exactly this scenario you painted is their scenario right now. Okay, so we can't just fold our arms. But one thing I appreciate that you said is the fact that she makes good decision.
Oh,
So
wonderful.
that means you trust her enough to make such a
Wonderful decisions.
Oh,
Wonderful decision. Even at this point, that sometimes I don't have to be there. Spot on. You just be okay. Oh, this is how your dad will want it. I think a part of her raised the father. I really will contend and put up a fight and all that. Yeah.
it's quite good for you because I mean you're a living testimony of that. But not all wives. I beg to differ. I'm a wife.
And not even now that we're getting even much more prayerful. We're doing things together. We're both ministers. We're both disciples of Christ, and things are just And even the area of weaknesses, like I said earlier on, I was a bit kind of playful, but she has always held on to God. It matched away. It matched in a way again.
So I mean, thank you so much for sharing your personal experience. But sometimes things are not balanced. You're just fortunate enough that she makes good decisions. And that's why it's always good that you still talk about things, even when the decision has been made on your behalf. It's only on her or on the other spouse to come and say, look, this is what I feel is best, at least so that you know and you're on board as well. Because that good decision, that one time, might not just be the good or the best one. So the fact that they run it by you, that you trust them enough to make that decision, but it's on them to still relate back to you. This is what I'm going to do on our behalf.
Yes, I get that a lot.
Yeah, exactly. So are you okay with it or are you not? Or in the process of doing that, like I said, things could be figured out way better as well. So thank you. I mean, all marriages are not the same. As we're here, that's why we're here to talk about different experiences, different angles, so that everybody can pick whichever one that kind of relates with them. My marriage is different from your marriage, yours is different from mine, but all the same.
No two marriages are the same,
Exactly, but we're all in a marriage
unique
relationship
about each marriages.
Yeah, exactly. So we learn from one another. And as I always say, one heart does not fit all, really. You have to find the one that fits your marriage so that you can enjoy the goodness of it. So thank you, Admissions, for that. Honestly speaking, I'm lost now. Leslie, somebody said they were back. Okay, Ajayi-Daniels, I think you said you're back. So
Yes, so I'm here.
yeah, I can see Leslie is back as well, but I don't know if you can speak now. Okay, so Elder Ajayi-Daniels, you're welcome. When he said you'll be right back, I'm like, hey, I hope he will not leave and not come back again. Tell me he slept off.
Yeah, that was the reason why I did not actually exited from the meeting.
You were still
I just excused to attend to the neighbor.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your patience as well. So you've heard all of them speaking, I believe so. I don't know which angle you want to bring to it. So the question I'll ask again is, how can couples handle things when their priorities does not align, because these things tend to happen from time to time.
Yes.
Thank you, Word Insight. Oh, good to see you.
Okay.
Yeah, we're waiting for you, Elder Adegbenga. What's your
I want to appreciate everybody who is this my can you hear
Yes,
me?
we can.
Oh, is this my network?
We can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
Wow.
So okay. So I want to appreciate everyone who have spoken. I was lucky enough to listen to a few, most especially Mr. Sheung, Susan, yeah. And I was also able to listen to Admission. So, well, to me, I know many might have spoken in regard to my own opinion about the question, and like we always emphasize on open communication. Communication is key
Yep.
in whatever we do, even outside marriage. If you do not communicate, you don't expect people to read minds. So that is why it is very, very crucial that we communicate. And secondly, acknowledging each other's differences in an open way. It's not in a criticism way, but openly. We are not of the same background.
Yep.
We are coming from different background, diverse culture. I have this neighbor that he has a baby mama in is it Bristol or somewhere there, who happens to be in Nigeria. He is a Jamaican.
Oh.
So he getting to know me as a Nigerian was like, oh, his baby mama is from Nigeria. The baby mama actually was his best friend.
Oh.
Then one thing led to the other. They broke up before she discovered she was pregnant. Now, the Nigerian parents and mentality are now calling for him to come and marry. Now understanding that situation, the moment I started talking to him as an external force, making him see
Okay. Well done.
life in a different dimension, a lot of realities are now setting on him. He's communicating more with the lady. I've not said they have moved in or they've agreed to marry each other, but he has a sense of responsibility more in handling the relationship, and we need to both understand the reason why.
Yeah.
There is a big why, which we need to understand, which is behind the priority. So the priority, it could be a selfish agenda and it could be a open agenda. It could best serve my own purpose, not considering my partner's purpose.
Yeah.
But at least understanding the why behind the priority. I might be the one setting priority almost all the time, like my brother Admission said about women winning. I quite understand the
the angle from which he is talking. You know, most times, women, we are just a tenant in the house, even if we are the owner. The women are the home keeper. That is the key to that submission.
But regardless, you have to build together.
Yes, I know. That is for a woman. Now, that is now left for a woman who understand inclusiveness.
Okay.
That our husband's family are also a family.
Yeah.
Not every woman or lady sees it that way. So that is where identifying the flexibilities comes in. So looking at the overlaps as well is also key. So for both parties, we know that we draw strength from each other.
Well, we're supposed to.
So yeah, so we should also pay more attention to carrying each other along in each and every thing we do. Creating a timeline is also good. That helps us to manage ourselves very well. And also practicing a very fair compromise.
Indeed. I mean, without compromise, I don't know where husbands and wife will be.
Honestly, a very fair compromise. And we men should understand that most of the compromise lies on our shoulder.
Is it?
Yeah. You know, when you look at the relationship pattern, a man always call his lady baby. So we should learn to treat our babies right.
I'm sorry, confession time. I hate that nickname for anything at all. But anyway, never mind.
Well, you might hate it, but you know, it's only a point of view
Yeah,
that we should learn to treat our babies right. You know, most times some men would always like to argue with their woman.
Good evening, I see you.
Oh, I thought there was a Debbie earlier.
I wasn't sure because people come in and change names and sort, so I was a bit confused. But I think she's just arrived now.
I went to follow that Debbie. Okay, let's see if
Doesn't
she.
matter. Your girl Debbie, no disrespect to you. Please follow and we'll follow you back because we just assumed our Debbie Gazim has changed the name and come back with this name because TikTok sometimes are fun. See how she's laughing. So no disrespect to you, Debbie, the other Debbie on there. I really appreciate your time with us as
Yeah.
well.
Debbie Gazin, welcome on board.
Debbie Gazim, gang gang gang.
So, oftentimes we should also learn to revisit our priorities.
Okay.
So, oftentimes we should learn to revisit our priorities. We should always, a lot, trust me. A lot of understanding I've picked from this program in the sense of how to handle some situation, this is the reason why we all come together to learn, to pick from different backgrounds and perspectives to help achieve the goal of keeping our homes.
Yeah. Good help.
So, which is good. So we should learn to revisit our perspective. And, also another key area is whatever issue I believe it can also be discussed here, which is seeking perspective of other people, which is also good. That is in a very rare case. Like, you and your wife should always know that This place is a open avenue to seek answers. It's nobody knows anybody, and
No one person have all the answers.
yes. So, and well, lastly again, prioritize communication. So thank you. Let me leave it at that.
Thank you. I don't know when you mentioned the timeline compromise. It really just hit something in me because sometimes we take each other for granted, especially for couples who've been married for over 10 years or 20 years. Sometimes we just take each other for granted, like, oh, I know what my husband would think, I know what my wife would think, I will just go ahead. And then later that thing might just bring about another conflict. So over familiarity with our spouses should not be a thing. No matter how long we've been married, just take each thing that needs priority as a new one that you still have to talk about. Even if they now say, oh, okay, I'll leave that to you, go make the decision. That's a different thing. So let's not just feel, oh, I know we've been married for years, a donkey years. I know what they would think, so I'll just go ahead and do it. So be mindful that you don't take each other for granted. Thank you, Elder Adegbenga, for your contribution as well. So I'm going to come to Leslie if you can speak, or otherwise I'll go to Baritone. I think you're the only two left who have not spoken.
I can speak now.
Oh, okay, good.
I can speak. So I've been up and down. I've been driving.
On the road.
All I know that I won't be listening to this thing again when I'm driving. Because I was just commenting and I just laughing. I was enjoying the comments, especially from Rachel. There was a really good comments, especially that one about the wife and permission. Me, I tried that too. I tried that one time. It was one and only because Madame was like, never again. You go bring your man, no, you can't tell me. I think there was one Christmas. There was one Christmas we had a lot of guests, and I didn't tell my wife that I was gonna bring in a lot of guests, so she was cooking for hours, and I was helping her, but you could tell that this was this was gritted teeth. And when the next day she said, ever again you do this, you will cook everything yourself. So me, I asked permission though. I asked permission very well. I asked permission. Yeah, priorities in marriage are, it's important. And again, I think it's important not to assume that you have the same priorities. And I don't know what somebody said it, whether seasons as well. I think Bashir said as well. Sometimes different seasons will change or shift priorities as well. So like when the children were younger, certain things were like the children, but now they're older, other things are not coming into play. So I think I just recently completed training. I wouldn't have done that training even up to a year ago, just with her. But now, because they are getting a lot more independent, it was easier for me to now finally do this particular training. And now my missus wants to do another one to herself. So that has the children getting older has allowed us to start to do certain things differently than we would have even up to a year ago. So yeah, priorities, but I think, but I love what he said very well. But Sean said, a lot of people you can know doesn't mean you're going to do it. Doing is hard. The doing aspect is yeah, because even I think even the scripture says that you can know something doesn't mean you're going to do it. You can know God's word doesn't mean you're...
that's coming to mind is the things that I want to do our family not doing, and the things I don't want to do our family, something like
that's
that.
the Romans 7.
Okay.
Romans I believe it's Romans 7, yeah. You can know something doesn't mean you're going to do it, and doing takes time. That's the part. It does take time. It's important that you don't assume priorities. It's very important. I think I've said it before, and this is something that's helped us in our marriage, is especially in the last 2-3 years, is learning to talk regularly, learning to talk about everything, so that when the difficult things come in, you've already built a good rapport, and you can be able to broach those subjects in such a way that it is not people are not avoiding you built a very good rapport. Don't assume because you're being with somebody or you're living with someone, means you're on the same page. You know, I don't want to go into, because I said there's a dangerous part to our wives, and I don't want to drop it here. But there's, when it comes to certain areas, like especially when it's business, it can be a very delicate subject. So I've learned to broach that subject over a period of time before the serious part of it kicks into gear, and it has done me well. Well, back in the day, it was like, if you don't agree, miss, I will still do. That doesn't work. It does, even though I thought I'll still get it done, whatever. But it doesn't, in the long term of things. It's not the best. It's not the best way you want to get things done, especially if you are doing in the same project, or you are trying to achieve the same goal. You don't ever want to be putting out two different messages when you're meeting people. So yeah, it's important that you recognize these priorities. It's important you talk about them, and it's important as well. I think especially for us as I'll say for myself, especially as a man, you lead in that way. In that, when you do what you say and you're consistent about it, it helps the other person know, okay, they are consistent, they're going to do what they are saying, and they're not going to be anxious about certain things when you do bring them up, because you have built a consistency. I learned that from a friend of mine, funny enough, who I used to do business with back in the day. And it was something he used to really, really, really bang on, was everything. When I say something, I am strong on making sure I do that I've said to my wife. I make sure I carry it out, because that's all I have. Doesn't matter how much money I bring. I want her to know that I am faithful to what I say. So I really learned that from him, and it's very important. So priorities, don't assume that you have the same priorities. It's good to talk about it. And I will say this again. I think it bears repeating, maybe, that husband and wife, it's good for us to learn to be friendly, so that when, like I said, when the difficult things do come, and they will come, they will come. It's not too difficult to broach them. I think sometimes it's too much assumption, or people don't think, or sometimes some people don't think they need to be friendly in their marriage. I don't know. I've seen that. Unfortunately, in certain marriages where there's a lot of assumption, everybody doing their thing, and I'm thinking, how you lot surviving? How you lot doing this stuff? And sometimes if they have a lot of money, that can be a problem as well. I know that our Nigerian people, we think money is everything, but I've seen where they have a lot of money and it's a problem. It becomes weaponized. Everybody now becomes a defensive system in the marriage, and everybody's now bragging about how much they're bringing in, so they don't need to hear this person and that. And I've seen it happen. Trust me, it didn't end well. But yeah, learn to be friendly. Learn to be friendly. Learn to work, to know how you can work together. So when these things come up, priorities, whether it's career, training, money, finances, you can broach those things properly. It doesn't matter how difficult are things, you can deal with it. Even with healthcare, exercising, all those things, learn to talk about them. And at some point, start putting dates to doing when you're going to execute certain things, when you're going to implement them. Because I found out when you're very good at doing these things in marriage, I see that it also kind of begins to help you in other areas as well. It's when you're not faithful in that area that it can be a problem.
Yeah.
Yes. So I just think it's very important. But I was stressed. I did those things in the early days. Madame that Christmas one, I'll never forget it. She's like, if you ever do that again, you will cook for everybody. I'll just go to the room and sleep. So I asked permission. And it helps. So I leave it there. I hope everybody just
Okay,
take
yeah.
it. But
I hear you, Leslie. Thank you for your submission. So maybe you can touch like intentionally about the question for today as well. Because of course everybody's sharing their experiences and all. So, but this is the major thing. Like, how can couples handle things when their priorities is not aligning?
I will use the business part, because that was a very big issue, and I would say it was probably in 2020 that finally we began to see eye to eye. And I think it was because maybe that was an area I was very strong on, and she's coming from a career background, training, all those kind of things. So business was not biggie for her, and even though it was a time consuming endeavor or certain things I want to do, it was like so I got to a point where I was like, don't worry, you just go do your thing, I'll do my thing. And that was, for a while, it looked like it was okay. But after a while, because of me being away for quite long hours, sometimes I'll be back very late at night or early in the morning, I'm off. After a while, it became like, everything else is coming at the cost of this project and all those kind of things. And I don't want to say the things I said then. I will not repeat those things because when I look back, I am very like, brother, hey, you were ignorant then, no, but I said certain things like, do you want to be my destiny spoiler, this kind of thing. Anyhow, it was in 2020 that we finally got to a place where I said, you know what, even though this might not be your strength, I would like you to see the good side of this thing, because all you're seeing is what the costs. But I'd like to also start talking, and that was where I started talking about what I wanted to achieve, what I felt it would do for the family, how I felt. Look, if even if you're not going to be behind it, but just support. Don't all these other things, and I didn't want to touch it for a while. Just talked about it, and I think in 2021 we did our first project together, and that was the first time that I could see she was now beginning to understand why it was a different arena to what she was used to. But it took that was what happened in 2020, and in a way I think COVID kind of helped because, well, where's anyone going? So yeah, we were able to talk about it, and I think that was the breakthrough, was just talking about it and sharing and look, this amount of times what it will take to do this. I need to learn certain things, work with certain people, all these kind of things. And I think after that, we haven't looked back since then. We have not looked back. And as we're talking now, we're actually preparing for a major digital network venture now, and I'm bringing the whole team together to talk about it and how we're going to execute it. And I'm very grateful that I paid the price then. Now we just talk. It's we can talk about it now, and it's no longer a source of disagreement as it used to be. That was one of the biggest things that took a while in our marriage to overcome, was this aspect of business. So I would say, yeah, just try and share your dream, your vision with the person. One thing I learned as well is that they're not on the same way of thinking and wavelength. Sometimes we think they should know, they just don't know, because we've been doing something for so long. We think they should just, they're married to me. They should just, no, you can't. Sometimes almost like it's good to someone even school or work with them and show them everything. And at some point they will catch division, just like everything else. You do the training, and somewhere along the line you get it. So I would say again, talk about it. Don't force the person to think like you do. Don't, because when they do come on board, they're going to bring something unique to what you didn't see. And one of the things I'm very, very appreciative of my wife in our business is that she's very analytical. So she brings a lot of mathematical, analytical things when it comes to like data, how we create data, merge data. It's one of the greatest skills that she brings to my business that I didn't have before. So I am very, very, I always tell her, don't worry, we'll pay you a lot of money. But I'm very, very grateful for that.
I was gonna say good money.
We do also in kind as well, but by the grace of God, the money as well. But yeah, so I think it's very important to talk about it. Don't assume, never assume anything. Just talk about it, let them know and show them, and as you give them time to grow, 2, 3, 4, 5 months, at some point they will get it. And sometimes they probably do better than you. So I think that's the way you deal with that situation. Yeah, you deal with that. Yeah.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Thank you. Talk about it. Sometimes you might have to give each other. If the priority is not time framed as such, you might have to revisit things so that you don't allow that to bring conflict, in your marriage. Sometimes it's hard. And when you're pressed for time and you have to make that decision, sometimes the man might just have to take the bull by the horn and praying, and hopefully whatever decision he makes on your behalf is the right decision. So we can't shy away. We need to talk about things, whatever the priority is. And thank you for saying that. Don't just assume. Don't just assume, because you might not just be on the same page. So talk about it, know that you're on the same page, and then make the decision together. So thank you, Leslie, for your contribution. Baritone, so in fact, let me just say thank you for your patience, because people have been going back and forth. But now the floor is yours. What do you think as well? Let's say your submission. And the question again, I'm going to pose to you as well. What can couples do when their priorities does not seem to align? What can they do? Because this is one major problem that couples will go through in their journey of marriage. And if they cannot find a solution to that, it can actually break them apart. So, Baritone, good evening. Welcome. Let's hear your views, please.
Good evening, good evening, coordinator.
Please don't start with the names.
And good evening, everyone.
Thank you. That my titles. I don't look for a crown.
Sharon, thank you very much for kickstarting this in a very beautiful way, because your submission was it just covered so much ground that, I think every other person that spoke after you was scrambling, not, because you covered so much ground,
You went all
Sharon,
out.
honestly.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, but I think all I want to say is, as we look at this, like so many other things, this issue is as old as humanity. That of course a couple would always, or couples more often than not, would always have different priorities. And there is no shame in admitting, accepting the reality that sometimes the priorities would never ever align. That would never ever be the same. In as much as everything is done in humility and unity, of course, like St. Paul says in Ephesians, of course, in as much as it's done in a mutual love and submission, submitting to one another as unto Christ. We have to be open in honesty to the fact that sometimes priorities may never align. So it's good to sometimes, look at what look at what you're focused on. Sometimes it's good to move the focus from the need to act, to achieve consensus to the coexistence, because sometimes that is the way to go. Because I'm being very practical, because each of us in our lives, because I've listened to many people talk. It sounds very beautiful sometimes, but it's chaotic where I'm coming from sometimes. I don't know how it is with yours,
This is where the
but
balance, the talk is balanced,
yeah, so sometimes you talk to this way, and it's not working, and you talk to the other way, it's not working, because sometimes there are some couples, or where one side of the coupleship, it is adventurous, and the other one is one that is docile, quiet, craves stability. And then in there are some situations where the parenting philosophies are totally different. This one wants 2 children. I'm not mentioning names. This one wants 4 children, and these are not things that were discussed from the very beginning, and it
Just
could cause a
assumed
lot.
we wanted the same number of children.
Yeah, and it could bring it could turn up a big upheaval, and even religious and cultural differences, they could come into play. So sometimes to 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 uh, to make it work, move from, being sure that you must agree to being like aware that, you know, this one wants different and this one, look at that difference and not use it as the, be all and end all. Try to to agree to disagree, and then look at the things that you agree on, the shared values, and use that, trump that, bring that up, big that up, to the reduction of the issues you may not agree on. And in terms of situations where there is disagreement or where the there is no consensus, it might be necessary to, manage the emotions that come from that, not just the logistics, because there's a deeper risk, that they where there is no consensus, where the priorities do not align, you move from that to resentment, to dismissing the other person, to like, what does she feel like? What does he feel like? A lot goes on in the human minds, and like some very little thing that there's disagreement on, and it could spiral. And resentment, oh my God, that resentment can it can boomerang into something you never even, so look at it as something we have disagreed on. It doesn't mean that we do not agree on so many other things, and then even though there is that disagreement, it doesn't mean that, you could, maybe it would not be resolved. It could be resolved, and on other situations, it may not be resolved. So sometimes there is permanence in some disagreements. And in fact, the test of the maturity of a relationship lies or resides in not seeing or requiring total alignment. In other words, that where there is tolerance for that state of imperfection, that I can tolerate imperfection, not always wanting that things, we will agree at the same, floor, that we will look at things the same way. Just like I think it's Leslie that said, we are different and we're coming from different backgrounds. So we're looking at things from different, look at it from the point of view. If somebody got married within his or her 30s, 20s, even, or even 40s for some people, something they have known and learned and lived with for all their life, and to walk away from all that, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. And in all of this, communication, 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 because that is the key. That is the key. And after all said and done, seeking, counsel of the Holy Spirit, because sometimes, just let me just leave this here, that sometimes even when you're seeking the counsel of the Holy Spirit, it might seem like God is not even answering you. He's quiet, and those of you that pray, you understand what I'm talking about. So, but it doesn't mean that it's not listening. And also, it's there's always a way He shows you. It could use anything, a thing, a human being, somebody who is even talking about something totally different, and you're like, it could be relevant. So it's communication, and also being aware that this other person who's got different priorities to me, this spouse of mine that's got different priorities to me, is not against me necessarily. It's just that we're just two different people,
But
and
it's
we are just
hard,
trying to make.
it's hard because these things carry emotions. So it's hard to distinguish because the way that the human nature is. You're not for me, you're against me. It's like
Of
battle.
course, yeah, yeah,
Ground.
and that is exactly the point. That is very easy because the moment that seed is planted, this one goes to this place, The other one is in maybe driving. What does she feel like? You know, it's like what Cheryl was talking about. He said that he would decide for his mom to visit, and then he would just take it for granted. I mean, men do that ordinarily. It's just, I think it's a man thing. We take a lot of things for granted,
Yeah.
and we just feel that the woman is supposed to roll with it. And then on the other side, on the side of the women plan. A woman can conclude a plan, with her family members or in her head, and the man comes to know, like,
Tradition said,
hold
yeah.
on, hold on, when did we talk about this? And he said, but I told you the other day, she no talk am, but so we agree to disagree, and uh, just in as much as there is no resentment, sometimes we may never totally agree. It's just that we become aware, we be mindfulness, we become mindful of the other person, that this person is not out to hurt me. He or she just has a different view, to me. And where there is that love, where there is that understanding, it might even be better. It might even help, to soothe or to help people carry disagreements or different priorities, and we could even arrive at better goals with two different priorities. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, I think we should stop beating ourselves. That's what I can get from your submission, baritone. Like, it's not all the time we'll see eye to eye regarding certain things, and it should not bring resentment. It should not bring anger and all of those other things. You're on the same what's it called? On the same boat. Everybody wants the best. I want to believe for that marriage, and of course, like everyone really have said, we are from different backgrounds, we have different perspective to life, and coming together, like, fine, they were once upon strangers. Okay, now this is bone of my bone, flesh of my flesh. Does not mean every time you want to eat your yam and egg, like Susan, me too, I must eat yam and egg. No, what if I don't want yam and egg? I want something else. So we should learn to live with that, and that is very vital thing, because it just means that you've come to accept that, okay, once in a while our priorities might not just align, but it doesn't mean I should hate you, or it doesn't mean you don't love me, or it doesn't mean certain things, because we need to be careful so that resentment, like he said, will not start building up, and then it kind of escalates into other aspects of our marriage. God helping us and giving us wisdom. So thank you, Baritone, for your submission. I wanted to hear Queen, but she dropped off. So I'm coming to you, Debbie. Elder Debbie, good evening. I hope you're good. Can we hear you? Oh, thank you. Thank you for the gifts, guys. Thank you. Let's keep tapping, please. I have a puzzle for us, so we're gonna laugh till before we go tonight. So Debbie, can you talk? Thank you so
I only came for the offering today. Oh, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Good evening.
Today's topic
Okay.
is elders.
It's topic for the elders.
Hmm.
Hey, you are Elder Debbie now.
My own elder is still learning where Elder Bariton and Elder Leslie is.
Ma'am, I wanted to bring you up, ma'am, if you can speak. If not, I do understand. D Mays, I don't know. I really want to have one of, because I see you've been there. We want to hear your views if you have any to share with us. No, well, they're there. There's a space, there's a box there.
You know,
If
I can come
anyone,
down for anybody that wanna come up.
don't come down. We've not asked you to come down. Come up and talk. When you finish giving us your submission, you can drop off. No wahala.
What do you want me to say?
Are you saying now? What's your view? I know you say
Okay.
it's for those married people. No, no, no. But I know you
Okay.
have experience with other people, friends, family, even our own parents and all. So we're talking about prioritizing in marriage, because it's one of the issues that kind of breaks up homes if care is not taken. So sometimes we know that couples may not be able to handle things because their priorities is not aligning. And if care is not taken, you know what that means. So when couples can't handle things, when their priorities are not aligned, what can they do? What do you think they can do? Let's hear from your wealth of experience. I bet Leslie too is waiting to hear.
Oh wow.
You
I
have
think
one submissions we want to hear. Please tell her.
I don't have too much strength today. I'm fighting flu.
Aw, sorry, Pele.
I think when it comes to that one, yeah, I think everybody has, based on the elders I met, Mr. Barrington,
So
Elder,
they communicated, but it's still not aligning. So what else can they do?
it still starts from the communication
Okay.
and a lot of patience, understanding, like I think Mr. Leslie or Mr. Barrington said, we are not from the same place. And Mr. Barrington said something. In fact, that thing crossed my mind immediately. He said it like, this thing is very, very funny. You meet somebody that is getting married at 45 now, and is marrying somebody 15 or 10 years younger, or she or something like that.
Yeah.
They've lived, so this person have lived their life a certain way. It will be hard. It will be hard to deal with. So I think communication will help. And if they don't communicate, they still need patience, because I can't say because your priority is not aligning at that moment, you should separate. It doesn't make sense. But there's always a solution. There's always a way. No, when I say we are not from the same place, I mean we don't have same background. We don't have same upbringing, educational wise, life
Of
experience.
life, yeah.
Even as much as we are all Christians and we read Bible, our version of the Bible translation differs. The way you understand, the way, if they ask me and you to come and explain Genesis 1 verse 1 now, we will explain it in different ways. So that's what I meant by that, Mr. T. So I think when it comes to that, I would say, if there is any, for people that are not married, let's start from there.
Okay.
Let communication be solid. Now, let's say you've communicated, but as you grow in the marriage and in life, in career, things are changing. Carry your spouse along. What a lot of people I think a lot of people don't do is, while they are climbing the ladder, they leave the other party there, not carrying them along. And before you know it, your priority is now different from the other person's priority. To communicate with each other will now be difficult. It will even be difficult to communicate because your level of understanding is now very, very different from each other. So I'll say, let that chain of communication, let it not break. That chain of friendship, let it not break. Let that room always be there, so that when things are changing, you can always communicate it.
Yeah.
When your spouse is confused about any step you are taking rather, they will be approachable. Either you're a woman or you're a man, be approachable, because there are some, I have seen marriages where the man cannot even ask the woman something, because once they ask, auntie will be like, ooh, 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 ooh. I cannot, And the same thing with there are some men like that you can't even ask them what's going on in your life, that kind of thing, or this decision you make. And one thing, I think a lot of people don't understand, that I think that makes a lot of home physically together but emotionally separated, is this thing:
Yeah.
one is not approachable, one is growing while the other party is there. So, and there'll be one in the marriage that the priority is just the children, while the other person is maybe finance. It can't work that way. So I think while you are doing whatever you are doing, carry each other along, understanding that things can change, and while things are changing, be patient with each other.
No, patience is key.
be patient with each other. Sometimes it might be in finance. That one is the one that breaks a lot of people.
No, I see you.
So I think majorly communication. And when I say communication, I'm not just saying I'm talking from single person part or perspective now. I'm not just saying communication about this cause this. What's the level you are, and while the person is climbing the ladder in their own career, please try and climb ladder in your own career too. That way you'll be able to understand each other. It will be stressful for your partner that is climbing while you are not doing anything
Yeah.
to communicate with you. It can be stressful sometimes. So I'll say, while the other party carry what if we are different in nature. Some people, they need somebody to push them or pull them. If your partner is that kind of person, while you are climbing the ladder, please, if you climb 2 steps, carry them to the next one. That way you'll be able to understand each other. You'll be able to communicate, even if it's not the same level, at least it will be close enough to understand each other. That way the emotional part, the even the spiritual part of the marriage will not break. You see, finance can have issue once emotion and the spiritual part don't break like this. What is law? So why if you climb 2 steps on the ladder and your partner need help, hold them up. That's why two shall become one. That's what the Bible says. And can two work together except they agree? No. So
Debbie, can I ask a question?
yes, sir.
What if like from the last, based on the last point you just made, okay, you climb 2 steps, carry them along, and all that. What if the other partner, refuses to be carried along, doesn't want to, so you want to show me how strong you, or you want to show that you have money to do it, eh? How do you deal with such a situation? How does the other partner that is trying to lift the former up deal with or manage
I get your
such a
question. And
situation?
how
Yeah.
do the other party deal with that person? Um,
Okay, Leslie, after Debbie. Yeah.
I would say that's where prayer comes in. There is one thing I know, that the art of the kings is with God. I'm talking, if the question you asked me now is based on people that are already married. Let's say your mindset and your partner mindset or priority have now changed. You try to carry them along. They refuse to move with you. You be patient. A lot of patience. Because maybe when you start or when you're about to start the journey, they don't even know you are starting a journey. I think, do you understand? Maybe when you are starting that journey, you didn't make them on. Okay, let's say Mr. Leslie said something about business and I laughed. Yeah, I'm like, business is a bastard. Business is a bastard because imagine after he has now explained to his wife, and now she now said, okay, let's see what you can bring home. After that, nothing now yield. He won't be telling this story the way he's telling it.
Definitely.
It's because God show him mercy. It's because God decide that this is my son. Don't put me to shame. God decided to show him mercy. And I have seen people that are not business minded person like that. When we communicate, when I talk to them, I realize that from a single person perspective, I already know that it will be difficult for me to communicate with this person in this level. Imagine when I said we have issue with our business. Imagine we were married and we use our husband's money. Shebi,
Then somewhere
you
before.
understand?
Yeah.
It will take somebody that has understand. Okay, it's not intentional to not bring problems. So I would say if it gets to a stage where you are now trying to carry your partner along, you are trying to explain things to them, they are not following. And I think before you get to that stage where they are not following you, you would have known from the beginning of your marriage that this person is like this.
Not necessarily.
You think they won't have trace?
Because we're growing. The fact that you marry at 20, 30, you have not come to your totality, so to say.
Then if there is no trace at all, I will say you would
Not
have to be
necessarily.
patient. I will say if there is no trace, then you need to be patient. A lot of patience, a lot of
Long suffering.
if the partner is a woman, you have to buy a lot of flowers, a lot of voile lace, a lot of French lace, a lot of Brazilian hair, a lot of Gucci. You get it? You have to find something that will make them calm down to be able to understand you. And you use when you are going, you don't go, you will go in thanksgiving, like you are going to the Lord in prayer. You would have prayed definitely. And if it's the man, you have to find how when you talk to him that he will listen. It might take a while. It might be difficult. It might be stressful. You might even get to a point where you want to give up.
Yes, Kenneth.
But because this person is yes, sir, is a very key part of it, you have to be patient to carry them along. I know there are some decisions you have to make, maybe because of the time frame. God will now help you that decision did not bring shame to you, sha. But I know there are some decisions you have to make without your partner's agreement. Do you understand? Maybe your partner did not agree on time. You need them to be patient, but you need time. Like when we read Proverb 31 and they said she considered a land, she bought it. It's not the first time I was like, does that mean she disrespect her husband? No. And the Holy Spirit said, no, that's not it. That is teaching you time frame. There are some decisions you have to take because the time is not enough for you to deliberate on it. I said, okay. So in that kind of case, you now have to pray that God Almighty, as I want to make the decision, no, don't put me to shame, oh Lord you have to ask God. That's the only way it will not cause trouble. That way, when you now finally make the decision and God now show you mercy, your partner will now calm down. That's the only way. If not, well, at this point, let me rest. My head is banging.
Thank you, Debbie. You see, I don't even know. A lot of things just come into my head. I mean, in my only 2 years of experience, hey, one thing I've noticed, and it's over time you will know, it doesn't mean you don't love each other or you love each other less or whatever, but everybody is still coming into the fullness of who God has proposed for them to be. And in the process, you're contending with the devil, the world, the everything. Sometimes you fall and rise and all of that. But now you're in a marriage setting. I mean, we know people who are in their 40s, 50s, they're not married. They're still forming, they're shaping their lives and all of that. And the moment a person comes in to be their spouse, it doesn't mean they've stopped growing. They will not grow. They will be the same yesterday, today, forever. No. And the person you got to know for maybe a couple of years before you put the ring on it, yeah, at least you know you have that assurance enough to say, okay, let's marry. I mean, trials of life, exactly. Let's marry. I know this person, da da da. But 5 years down the line, you don't know the habits they will pick up. You don't know the experiences of the 5 years, how it will shape them to change their ways or their habits or a lot of things. And you say, I never saw this, I never know. Because even them, they did not know. They're growing and this is who they are becoming. It's now left for you to sit each other down and say, it's like our priorities are beginning to shift or change or whatever. And that's why, well, fine, effective communication will still have to come into play. It doesn't mean you start fighting them because you never see this aspect, they're making decisions or they're doing this, that. No, they are evolving. It might be to our taste, it might not even be to our taste. We're in this marriage together. If it's not to our taste, best sit down and talk about things. I've observed this. It's like it's shifting our priorities or whatever. Talk about it so that both of you are on the same page. One person is not sitting down and assuming this man will be okay, this man is going to make this, or this woman is going to, and at the end of the day, you find out that you're in Mars, they're in Pluto, just because you have not sat down to talk about your priorities. And these things, priorities, we have to visit it from time to time. It's not when there's a major decision we have to make, then we'll say that, okay, let's prioritize. No, from time to time, this is something we should check in on. Where are we at? Is there anything we need to be prioritizing? Or in the future, what will be our priority? You know, from time to time, we have to check in on this, because otherwise, sometimes life will throw certain mountain at us and it seems so overwhelming. And rather than handle it, because we've built up onto that, we will fight each other. You know, the devil is not happy. You people are in one accord and all of that. So there's a whole lot of things to contend with. But now we're talking about it. We're intentional about it. And we want to do better. That's why we're talking about it today. My prayer is that God will give all of us wisdom. Okay, Sharon, yeah. Thank you. Thank you for your support and contributions today. Thank you. Really appreciate it. I know time is fast spent, but I really wanted you to stay for the puzzle. It's a bit of a laughter one. So, Mr. T, you're the one. I'm not going to bring anybody up again. Mr. T, good evening. I hope you are good. I've been reading one or two of your comments. So this is the time for you to share your views with us.
So, a marriage is like a house. Before you build a house, you have to first of all lay foundation.
Oh, thank you, Sharon. Good night. Thank you. Yeah.
Any house that is without foundation will not last. It will collapse. That is why the marriages of this day is collapsing, and the marriages of our foremothers did not collapse, because there was a foundation of their marriages before other priorities that we're talking about. If that marriage was not built upon a foundation, it cannot last. And there is no discussion, no platform that can make it to last, except that marriage has foundation.
Yeah.
The foundation of every marriage comes from the parents of the both couples. The parents of the man has to train that man-child when he is still a child on how to deal with marriages. And the parents of the woman has also to train the lady when she's still little on how to deal with the marriage. That is the foundation on their different roles, because a man have his own roles while a woman have her own roles. Entirely different roles to play in marriage. And their roles has to be taught them when they are still small.
Yeah.
So that was why the Bible says, train a child.
In the way you should
When he grows up, he will never depart from it. So when those roles are being given to those children when they are small, still small, when they grow and get married, they can never depart from the training that they got from their parents. So that is the foundation of every marriage before anything. So which the mothers and the parents today are failing to help their children to lay those foundations concerning everything marriage. The parents of today is trying, or they are believing that sending your school to formal education is the best you can do. That you have given them the best, as long as they are able to go to a very good school, as long as they know how to read and write, you have given them the best, which has nothing to do with marriages. So the foundation of marriage must to be revisited in order to keep the marriage to work. Without that, no decision, there is nothing that we can be able to do except we go back and revisit the foundation, which is the parents being able to establish their children and told their children what they should do when they get married on, and how they should rule over their marriages. So that foundation is very important. That foundation is also in the Bible. I had 2 or 3 people calling about God to pray, do this. So you also check out the foundation that God laid before our birth, that we should follow that foundation. And those parents are supposed to support us by training us on how the foundation works. Without that, nothing will work. No idea that can put the marriages that is failing today, no idea that can bring it up again. That foundation is very, very necessary and essential in our lives. So dealing with this topic now, we have to start from foundation, not just treating the topic without remembering the foundation of marriages in the first place. So this is what I can say for now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. I mean, I really appreciate your submission. True, if the foundation be faulty, what can the righteous do? One of the last key thing that I mentioned when I was giving my talk about the benefits of right prioritization, the last one I said is set a godly example for children and others. Because the truth of the matter is, how we are right now in our marriages stems from a lot of our foundational background, from where we're coming from. Because I mean, it took a man and a woman to come together to give birth to us. What did they pass on to us? For some of us, like Leslie, I think, was saying, their culture, and what else you mentioned, Leslie, something else. Culture and tradition really has not really fully helped, because some culture, some tradition, a female child especially, you cannot do certain things, you cannot say certain things, you cannot be seen certain places. And that was how we grew up, female child thinking in that line. And now this is the 21st century, they're grown, and now things are different, and they still carry that mindset. And their spouse is really trying to catch up with their cultural mindset or their traditional mindset. The husband is saying, for example, my dear wife, let's sit down, let's talk about there are two things, which one should we prioritize? And the woman will say, my lordship, or whatever, I'm being sarcastic now, your decision is final by me. It's like a woman can't talk or make decisions and things like that. But the man is like, no, this marriage, we're in it together. I need your opinion. I need your contribution. But she doesn't have what it takes, because her foundation, did not have all of that. So it will be a challenge when she eventually gets married. And the man as well, growing up from that same foundation or background, feels the man is supposed to make all the priority decisions and all of that. So would not even think to call the wife to sit her down and say, which one should we prioritize? And then the 21st century wife is coming to say, you just made that decision, you did not even tell me. So you can imagine where I do understand you, Mr. T. It's a very valid point. But you and I are adults now. A lot of us are in marriage now. What are we then passing on to the next generation? We need to be mindful. And mind you, by the time the next generation too is getting married and all, I don't know what the world would have turned to. So they might be faced with another kind of challenge. Even we might feel we've passed on the very best example to them, or very best godly example to them. I don't know what the world will say in the next 5-10 years. Maybe it's another thing they have to be contending with. And that's why you still have to go back to the maker of the marriage institution, God. Whatever the century, whatever the advancement, whatever the technological, whatever AI whatever it is, God is still the orchestrator of marriage, and he has all the answers for whatever season, for whatever era we find ourselves doing marriage. So that is what I will say. I don't know why people are dropping off. We will have to do our puzzle for today. So everyone that has contributed, thank you so much. I really, really appreciate you as usual. I do. Thank you all so much. I'm gonna post on there and give us a couple of minutes. This one is a tongue twister, so it's open for everyone to try. And since we're talking about marriage talks today, I just said, let me look for something that would kind of align with our marriage talk. So this one is loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. But you have to say this 3 times without blabbing and audibly, not slow like loving lovers, love lightly. No, you have to say as fast as possible without blabbing 3 times. Hey, look at everybody dropping. Debbie, where are you going? And then if you get it right, you get the gift for today. So let's give us a couple of minutes to attempt this. Practice. I didn't say drop off. Oh. Nobody should drop off. In fact, people should send in invites. Even if you don't want to give any submission, it's fine. This time we're doing our puzzle to round up for tonight. So who wants to go first? Who wants to go first? Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers last. So I need something like that, at least in that pace, at least. Not too slow, not slow at all. So if you can say it 3 times without blabbing, you get the gift for today. Let me challenge Susan. Oh, baritone, you want to try? You almost said it, you're laughing already.
Oh
You're not
God.
going to help yourself, you know.
Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lessons in life. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lessons in life. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lessons in life.
Score yourself. Score for yourself. Well, you tried. So let's find your gift. Nice
I could try again.
You want to try again?
Maybe if another person is going, I can try later.
Well done. Thank you. Thank you. So who's next? I want to feel. Where's Debbie running to? Nice attempt, Bobby. Well done.
She's going to fill up her gasm.
Okay, admissions, I'm bringing you back. I don't know if A13 wants to try. Please, anyone on the floor there, please send an invite if you want to try our puzzle for today. Let me repost it if it's still there. Well done.
In the first place. In the
You
first
want to
place.
try now,
TikTok
Debbie?
This TikTok just logged out my account.
Again.
Yeah. So maybe it's your puzzle. Immediately you typed it now. You
No,
just
but I
added.
can hear you. I can hear you, and you're in the box now.
I told you I'm having edit. You went to bring loving lovers. Eh?
Okay, just try. Okay, say it twice. Say it twice for the sake of it.
Okay, let me try. Oh, good. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Okay. Let me be serious.
Be serious.
Let me be serious. Okay. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers laugh lightly, learning lasting lessons in life.
Okay, let's just give it to you. Well done. Where is it?
Leslie, where are you?
Is in the kitchen preparing.
I'm surprised it's still there today because on a normal day, you'd have
Kenneth.
left us with our
Susan.
Susan, oh Susan, let's hear you.
Kenneth is ready.
Okay, Kenneth, come on, bring it on.
Loving, love, laughter. No. Let me try again. Loving, love, laugh, let's in the life.
No, Leslie's not here.
Loving, love, laugh, let's.
No, Leslie is not here. Stop calling his name.
You're making me cry.
Loving, love, laugh, let's in.
Leslie.
People are calling my name. Oh.
Yeah, he
People are
keeps calling your name. Leslie.
People are just calling my name.
Yeah.
I'm just hearing my name all the time.
Yes,
I hear because I don't want to choke on myself.
It's Kenneth. He says Leslie.
Yeah. I just keep hearing my name all the time. I said, what's going on?
That is why we want you to come up and
See what you have forced. Kenneth.
yeah, let me try.
Say loving lovers love lightly, Leslie. Loving lovers love lightly, Leslie.
I'm sure there's no Leslie in what I posted.
Like I'm seeing Leslie there.
Please. Okay, let's get this now, please. Please. Okay. Oh yeah, Kenneth, final trial. Come on, you can do this.
Let me see it again.
I'll repost.
Gang
Yeah,
gang.
I can see it. Okay.
Gang gang.
Hey, baritone, mute.
Loving, love, laugh, lighting, lesson, lasting, lesson in
Leslie.
No. This is lesson. This is a lighting, lesson,
Leslie, come and bail your brother out.
Leslie, come and pay me, oh, please. You're making.
My goodness.
I cannot try. I cannot.
Is it that Kenneth? You cannot see this. Maybe you should wear your glasses.
Not about glasses. I think it's my tone. Loving.
But you can see the words.
Yeah, I can see it clear. Loving, love, laugh, lighting, lexing, lasting, love.
There's no Leslie. You keep saying it. Leslie, come and bail him out, please.
Loving, love.
Okay, I will.
I'm trying not to laugh. I'm losing my voice just to laugh, baby.
Leslie, come and bail me,
Oh,
please.
Lord. I can't talk now.
We can hear you. We can hear you. 8:13. You want to try? Susan, don't tell me you're sleeping. Anybody still listening? I can see still 11 people there. Please send an invite if you want to try. We get the donut and two.
I'll try it. I'll try it. I'll try it now. Lord have mercy. Loving lovers life lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers life lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. Loving lovers life lightly, learning lasting lessons in life. I hope I did it.
Well done. You see,
oh, Lord.
Fear of the unknown. You pulled it off. Well done. Well
Thank
done.
you.
You see?
Finally, I did a puzzle.
Yay! Thank you, Kenneth. Is congratulating you after putting your name in the puzzle. 8:13. You want to try? Susan, are you still there? My sister from another village. Anyways, it's been fun. I can't believe it. I mean, the tears will not stop rolling. But thank you all so much for making it fun. I mean, we have to go now. I can see the time is well spent. Thank you all so much. Oh my goodness, don't worry. You can copy that and go and try with your spouse. And whoever gets it right 3 times without blabbing will get 2 chicken as you have your dinner. It's way past dinner, or maybe tomorrow. So you can put that puzzle down and try it with your spouse. It could be your 1 hour time together or whatever it is, and just laugh. As we round off today, my prayer again is that we learn to prioritize in our marriage. And if we're having challenges prioritizing, please let us not take each other for granted. Let us not think that, it's time to battle one another because they're not, on the same page with you. We've heard all our submissions today. There's so many aspects to life. It's not really cut and paste all the time as such, but whichever way, we learn to pray for one another, seek God's opinion about things, pray about things, especially when it's not kind of aligning. And there's always a way, by the grace of God. Sometimes you may have to revisit certain decisions, or the woman might just let the man make it and pray, God helping you, it doesn't bring shame or pain to the family, because sometimes time is of the essence. I get it. So thank you all so much for your contributions, your gifting, your tapping. Oh, wow. Okay, guys, let's do something now. It's 198.3. Let's take it to 200 before we round off tonight. And if anybody's still out there, you want to attempt the puzzle, please feel free send an invite. Let's laugh some more.
I just want to say one more thing before, as we're about to hit the 200,000 likes on this our wonderful life.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I think sometimes whenever I hear people talk about marriages in the past, especially maybe over 100 years ago, I think sometimes it's spoken from an anecdotal standpoint. But the reality is we don't know how things were. Culture and tradition made a lot of marriages, especially for the women, to stay and remain, because living in marriage was almost life and death at that time. So that somebody stayed in a marriage still is not does not signify the success of the marriage. It's still going to be the quality of that marriage, because if that was the case, there was a lot of brokenness that happened in that time. Why don't people talk about that? And it came from people who are married who did not end their marriages, but there was a lot of brokenness in those relationships. So I don't think that I think a lot of time people just refer to them, but they don't actually talk about it from a realistic standpoint with any research. It's just an assumption that everything was good because people stayed together till they left the world, kind of thing. But that's not the reality. I don't. Culture and tradition made a lot of people stay in their marriages. So.
Host, if I may follow in the footsteps of Leslie, he's given me a bit of courage to say what I had in mind, which I wanted to say in response to the submission. I think it was Mr. T or so that made. Of course. That sometimes the fact that the foundation was healthy does not mean that things may not go all right, or that the building may not crumble at the end of the day. It could be a healthy, thirsty foundation, but still it still needs to be maintained. And because otherwise, especially in the world of today, the building can still crumble, or the cracks will just start falling, on the wall, and then a part of the building would give up, and then things will start happening. So it's just to be on. I mean, when he was talking, and then what came to my mind was.
Thank you for the 201K likes.
Yeah. When he was talking, what came to my mind was, you see, when the children of God present themselves. You remember that story? He said Satan went also, and God says, "Have you seen my servant, Job?" He said, wait now, let me finish with him. When I finish with him, we'll know even still your servant. So these things happen on a daily basis, and it's always to be on one's guard and be ready to, open up and deal with the problems as they present themselves. Thank you.
Thank you. God will help us. I've seen people who grew up in a loving home, mom and dad together, all the children growing up, they're leaving home, they're being given to marriage and all the children, there's no guarantee that because their parents, had a good marriage or whatever, there's no guarantee that all of the children will have a successful marriage. Period, but everybody still will have to work at it. That's all it takes. I mean, maintaining that healthy marriage is the work you and I have to do. Is all the hard work we have to do. Sometimes we fall, we rise, we'll keep rising no matter what. God helping all of us. Debbie, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, I have a question. Please, where is Mr. Admission?
He admitted himself out.
Where is Mr. Admission?
He's still
Where
there.
did he go?
Is there? Is still there? But I can't see him in the box. Let me see. Mr. Admissions.
Nadi?
Oh, okay. He dropped off.
Because okay, except he's still there.
He's still there. I tried.
Yeah.
Mr. Admissions. Somebody has put you on the
I'll
spot.
say exactly. Grace does a lot of it. Grace comes in to sort us out. I'm just on the same line with my brother. I would just need it now. The Grace will now come in to do a lot for us. Yeah, yeah. I agree with what you just said. A lot of grace is required. I'm here. I'm
Okay,
actually
so we
sleeping
want to, we
anyway.
want you to attempt the puzzle. That's why we brought you back.
No, don't take. No,
You
I
think
have
I
a sleepy voice now.
most of you to come and concentrate?
I've got a sleepy voice. I'm virtually gone.
Is that the best you can do?
Your voice
Admission?
cannot not be as bad as your voice
Practice
cannot
and
be as
come
bad
back.
as mine. Oh yeah, go on.
Okay, let's just hear you.
You
Let's just
already
hear you.
said we should practice and come, and I took it down. So I'm gonna practice with my partner and I'll come here.
We're not bringing it back
I,
next week.
why would you not? Why would you do that to me? Leave me alone.
No, it's for today because by next week I'll probably bring something else, or we might not even bring a puzzle at all. So, but just
I'm
attempt
gonna
it.
be the best. I can assure you, I'll be the best that time.
When? But I'm bringing something else. That's what I'm saying. I'll not bring this one again. And I won't be able to even ask your wife if
Me, I'm
you
already
blabbed.
sleeping. Truly, I was virtually sleeping. I've got a sleepy
Debbie,
voice.
should we let him be?
Let, please forgive me.
Admission,
I'm
you
on my
know,
knees.
apart Jesus is in that place you are. Oh.
So
Jesus is seeing you.
it's because it's late, oh. Otherwise, you and I will be left
But
in
it's
this
okay.
boat until you say it right.
You take it.
Yeah?
Please forgive me. I'll pay fine.
Okay. I think the elders have spoken. We should forgive him.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. You're welcome. Thank you all so much. It's been a lovely, lovely one as usual. God helping us. We'll be back on Monday when we'll be talking about this much I can tell you, we'll be talking about individual talks, issues individual find difficult to ponder on, talk about, reflect on, and somewhat is affecting their lives or them attaining fulfillment in life. So we're going to be talking about individual talks on Monday, 8 p.m. UK time by the grace of God. Everyone have a lovely weekend. Don't overwork yourself. And again, remember to always prioritize. If you're in a marriage relationship, have that effective communication with your spouse so that you can keep enjoying the goodness of marriage as God intended for us to do. So on that note, good night, everyone. Enjoy. Take care. See you Monday. Oh. Who was that? Oh, Mr. Barton. Debbie, offering time now. Thank you. Hey, my lucky day today. Thank you so much. Thank you. I think I'll sleep well tonight. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, Baritone. Thank you, A13. Gracias. Leslie, Kenneth, Debbie, thank you, Sheo. To everyone, let me see, there's some people there. I see user 47, Ugo KZ, D Mays, Queen Ella, Susan, thank you so much. A13 with all of your account, I see you. Kenneth, thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a lovely night rest. Oh my God. Do you want me to stay? Do you want me to stay? Thank you, Baritone. Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, A13. It's still talking away. My goodness. Hey. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless you. A13. Gracias. Have a lovely night. I don't know how to say sleep tight. Hey, thank you. Thank you, A13. Well, he took it up to 208.8K. Thank you. Okay, let's go to sleep. Thank you, everybody. See you on Monday. Enjoy the weekend.